I married Xun'er, but she refuses to consummate the marriage. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 201, Stop Being So Conceited. Oops, we actually ran into him. Hunya and Hun Li had a deep memory of the voice coming from the front. Once, the owner of that voice could make them feel a huge pressure with just a glance. Run separately, try to get to the third floor of the heavenly tomb. There are our ancestors who died here. Well, when we get there, even if all four of the ancient clan gather together, we can kill them all at once. Hunya and Hun Li looked at each other, and then fled to the left and right. Death struggle. After a cold laugh, two giant palms suddenly appeared in space, chasing Hunya and Hun Li separately. The power of the palm prince would smash even a half-saint into dregs. What's more, Hunya and Hun Li are only Xun. Ah, goof, if you dare to kill us, the elders of our clan will not let you go. Killing two jumping clowns, what can the Soul Clan do to me? Even if you kill Gu Fei, the Soul Clan can only swallow it with broken teeth. A moment later, with two shrill screams, the two people from the Soul Clan who came to participate in the Tanmu trial this time were all killed here. Goof. Behind her, a green figure quickly passed by. When the two palm prints appeared, she felt something. At this moment, she heard the names shouted by Hunya and Hun Li, and her heart was very happy. She accelerated and finally saw the figure she had been waiting for a long time. Brother Goof, I knew that you would not ignore me. Xun'er came to Goof with great joy, with a bright smile on her face. It was like this before. If anyone dared to make me angry or unhappy, you would stand up for me. It is still like this now. As Xun'er spoke, she began to talk about how Goof had cared for her in the past. Brother Goof, you still care about me, don't you? Xun'er wanted to get close to Goof and take the opportunity to hug him. This was a scene she had imagined for a long time. Don't be so sentimental, Pa. Goof frowned and mercilessly slapped Xun'er's hand away. Hearing the crisp sound, Xun'er was stunned for a moment, looking at the red back of her hand. If you don't care about me, how could you appear here by such a coincidence and help me kill Hunya and Hun Li? Xun'er said aggrievedly. These two people have long had murderous intentions against me. It is natural for me to kill them, Goof said calmly, and then left with a wave of his sleeves, not wanting to stay with this woman for long. Brother Goof, wait for me. Seeing this, Xun'er hurriedly followed, but her speed was too slow compared to Goof, and she was soon thrown away. Brother Goof, you are just saying one thing and thinking another. You are still worried about me, but you refuse to admit it. Xun'er was exhausted and stopped to rest. But she still felt that what happened just now was not a coincidence, but that Goof was silently paying attention to her and worried that she would be hurt. I must seize this opportunity. Xun'er looked determined and continued to chase step by step in the direction Goof left. In the ancient world, a hall. Two black-robed men cast a seal to block the perception of the outside world and laughed loudly. Ha ha. After this time, the two divine bloodlines of the ancient clan will all die in the heavenly tomb. All the ancient clan prodigies of this generation have died in the heavenly tomb. After 100 years, the power of our Soul Clan will exceed that of the ancient clan by far. These two people are the elders of the Soul Clan who accompanied Hunya and Hun Li to the ancient world. At this time, only a few hours have passed since the opening of the heavenly tomb. The two people knew the plan of the Soul Clan this time and began to celebrate in advance. Because the two Soul Clan prodigies who entered the heavenly tomb 20 years ago encountered the energy bodies of two Soul Clan ancestors on the third floor of the heavenly tomb, the energy bodies transformed by the two Soul Clan ancestors still have the strength of Cheng. At that time, the Soul Clan's genius clearly memorized the location of the two Soul Clan's ancestors' territories. As long as Hunya and Hun Li could find there, it would be easy to deal with the people of the ancient clan. Unfortunately, when the two were celebrating happily, they did not expect that only a few hours had passed since the opening of the heavenly tomb. The young people in the clan who they had high hopes for had already turned into a cold corpse. As time passed, a month had passed in the space of the heavenly tomb. In a month, Most of the ancient race geniuses who participated in the Heavenly Tomb trial had only come to the middle of the first floor, because they were practicing while walking, and it would take a lot of time to deal with the energy bodies that blocked the way. At this time, Gu Fei had already arrived at the entrance of the second floor. In front of his sight was a huge light curtain falling from the sky. In the light curtain, with a huge energy pressure, those with a cultivation level lower than the 5-star sun could not enter it at all. This is also the reason why most of the energy bodies on the first floor are below the 5-star level. Gu Fei came here without stopping at all, and slowly stepped into the light curtain. The distance of several hundred feet seemed a bit long, and Gu Fei walked for a minute before he walked out. When he got out of the light curtain, the huge pressure brought by the energy of heaven and earth finally disappeared. According to the records in the clan's classics, the second floor of this Stanmu is much smaller than the first floor. If everything goes well, I should be able to reach the entrance of the third floor in less than a week. When he came to the second floor, Gu Fei clearly felt that the energy concentration here was stronger than the first floor, but he still had no intention of stopping, but continued to walk deeper. In this dead world of Tanmu, it is indeed very beneficial for cultivation. However, he has to endure the boredom that is several times stronger than the outside world. Gu Fei traveled alone for 4 days. During these 4 days, the level of the energy bodies he encountered became higher and higher, and there were 8-star strength ones. On this day, in front of Gu Fei, an area full of energy pressure appeared. It seems that there are quite a lot of energy bodies in that area. In this area, there are many 7-star or even 8-star energy bodies distributed, and their positions seem to be guarding something. It's been a month, and I finally encountered something with consciousness. A smile appeared on Gu's face. He knew that the energy bodies in front of him should be guarding a 9-star energy body. Energy bodies with a strength of 9 stars have some intelligence. They are equivalent to the superiors among energy bodies and can easily control other energy bodies. Now this area is its territory. 9-star energy cores can save half a month of training. Don't waste it. Gu stepped into the area slowly. The energy bodies approaching him will automatically break apart when they are close to him. After a while, a place with strange rocks appeared in Gu's sight. On one of the boulders, there was a figure in black iron armor sitting cross-legged. Under the black armor, a pair of eyes were empty and indifferent. But if you look closely, you can find that this energy body has a more spiritual aura than the ones he met before. Chapter 202 Huozi. It seems that this time it's going to be very dangerous. He Fengshu. The black armored figure seemed to have sensed Gu's sentry. He was invincible in this area for a long time, which made him very proud. However, after carefully feeling the breath emanating from Gu, he forcibly held back the arrogant words that were about to come out of his mouth. Plop. The next moment, the black armored figure knelt on both knees on the boulder towards Gu. Hello, Senior. I didn't know that you were coming, and I didn't welcome you. I hope you will forgive me. The black armored figure kowtowed, and his words were very respectful, fearing that Gu would kill him. Although he had died once, he could at least survive in another form. But if he was destroyed by Gu to take the crystal core, then there would really be nothing left. Seeing the actions of the black armored figure, Gu couldn't help but be stunned. He didn't expect that the guy who turned into an energy body would cherish his life so much. Senior, as long as you don't kill me, I am willing to serve you as my master and be your slave. The black armored figure was still begging for mercy. Over the years, he had also encountered some living people who entered this place. They were all juniors, and very few were as powerful as Gu. Before I came in, the elders of the clan told me to take good care of the others. Maybe leaving this 9-star energy body behind can be of some use. Gu thought quickly in his heart. According to the description in the original book, this time the heavenly tomb is opened. More than half a year later, an energy storm will blow up in the second layer of the heavenly tomb. In the face of such a natural disaster, even if the cultivation reaches the 9-star sun, it is a life and death situation. If you encounter it, like Gu King Yang and Gu Yao, you may not be able to resist it. These two people are the contemporary Tanjiao of the Gu clan. Gu also has friendship with them. Knowing that there is danger, he naturally cannot sit idly by. Of course, Gu will not waste time waiting for them in this second layer. Senior, please let. Well, Then I'll keep you first. Thank you for not killing me. The black armored figure kept bowing his head, and when Gu Fei spoke, his face was full of gratitude. Since I've spared your life, there are some things you need to do for me. As the senior ordered, I will do anything, no matter how hard it is. The black armored figure kowtowed repeatedly. The next moment, a jade token appeared in Gu Fei's hand, and he quickly separated a wisp of soul power and injected it into the jade token. Take this jade token, and in the next period of time, if a living person like me appears on the second floor, try to avoid it. Remember, after 5 months, crush this jade token. If you don't do it, big storm? Yes, the senior said, I remember everything. The black armored figure listened to Gu Fei's words carefully and kowtowed continuously. When he looked up one time, he found that Gu Fei had disappeared, leaving only a jade token in the place. 5 months, come to think of it, I can't remember how long it has been since I last recorded the time. Holding the jade token, the black armored figure's face suddenly showed a touch of emotion. Soon, another 3 days passed, and Gu finally arrived at the entrance of the 3rd floor of the heavenly tomb. Here, similar to the entrance to the 2nd floor, an extremely huge energy light curtain poured down from the sky and finally reached the ground vertically. The difference is that the energy light curtain leading to the 3rd floor has been materialized and must be forcibly broken before entering the 3rd floor. Puff. Gu Fei approached the extremely thick energy crystal wall, and the strange fire suddenly rose in his palm. Now, Gu Fei's strange fire has already merged the 5 kinds of strange fires: the azure lotus earth core fire, the sea heart flame, the fallen heart flame, the 3000 flames fire, and the bone spirit cold fire. The temperature is extremely terrifying. Coupled with the powerful fighting spirit that he has reached the Sheng, the flames instantly melted a large piece of the crystal wall. At this speed, this 100-foot thick crystal wall can be burned through in a few minutes. The strange fire opened the way in front, and Gu Fei easily entered the energy crystal wall. Not long after, a small crackling sound came from the crystal wall, which was a different sound from the melting crystal wall. Gu Fei was not surprised by the strange sound. He knew that the source of the sound was the result of the ancient devouring insects living in the energy crystal wall being burned by his own fire. If it were not for the suppression of the fire, these ancient devouring insects would quickly fill the empty energy walls and finally trap people inside. After urging the fire continuously for 10 minutes, Gu finally broke through the crystal wall completely. An endless gray land appeared in his sight in an instant. This land was extremely vast, and there was no end at a glance. There was no too thick energy mist here, but when Gu Fei stepped on it, he could feel that streams of pure energy were constantly penetrating into his body along the soles of his feet. It's worthy of being the 3rd floor of the heavenly tomb. Practicing here is better than practicing with 7th grade pills every day. Feeling the energy concentration here, Gu Fei's face was also surprised. Moreover, most of the energy bodies that can be encountered here are above 8 stars. There were quite a few who had reached the semi-saint level, so Gu Fei began to rush towards the depths of the 3rd layer. In the following time, Gu Fei began to fight non-stop, plundering energy cores frantically. Boom. In the 2nd floor of the heavenly tomb, in an area full of rocks, a woman in red released extremely hot red flames, burning the 3 energy bodies in front of her into nothingness. You have made great progress in the past 6 months. 3 8-star energy bodies besieged you, and you killed them instantly. I guess you are about to complete the first transformation. Yuan of the Yan clan appeared beside the woman in red and said with a grin. Yeah. Huozi tapped his chin lightly and didn't say much. Suddenly, Huozi and Yuan both sensed that there were 2 auras in the sky in the distance approaching this side quickly. What bad luck. This is the first time I enter the heavenly tomb and I have encountered such a terrifying thing. You two should run quickly. If you are caught up by the storm behind, even a Zun Peak warrior will fall here. The 2 people were Gu Qingyang and Gu Yao from the ancient clan. At this time, they found Huozi from the Yan clan and kindly reminded him. Energy storm? Huozi and Huozi's faces changed drastically when they heard what Gu Qingyang said. They looked behind Gu Qingyang. At the end of the sky, a strong energy hurricane was roaring, and finally formed an extremely terrifying chain reaction. In the end, A huge energy storm quickly formed between the heaven and earth. Run! After a moment of stunned silence, Huozi and Yuan had no time to sigh, and their figures flashed quickly and joined the fleeing team. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 203 The Hope of Living. On the second floor of the heavenly tomb, on a huge rock, a black armored figure sat cross-legged. During this period of time, the black armored figure, the energy body of the heavenly tomb who had forgotten what time was, once again came into contact with time. The confusion in his eyes dissipated a lot, and he seemed to be thinking about the meaning of existence. Time is up. At a certain moment, a gleam of brilliance flashed in his eyes, and a white jade card appeared in his hand. The next moment, the jade card was crushed. A ray of soul power disappeared into space, and just after he crushed the jade card, at the end of the sky, a gorgeous line connecting the sky and the earth was spreading rapidly. The energy storm of the heavenly tomb. Looking at the terrifying energy storm that filled the entire world, there was no fear in the eyes of the black armored figure. During this period of time, while counting the time, he also thought about many things. As a person who had passed away for a long time, he felt that there was no point in staying. This heavenly tomb, which had become a place where the weak or the prey of the strong, was not a place suitable for the dead to rest in peace. The original heavenly tomb was indeed a place for the deceased to rest in peace, but now, the energy bodies in the heavenly tomb devour each other. It has long lost its original beauty. It's time to completely destroy it. The black armored figure stood up, and instead of running away, he welcomed the energy storm. At the same time, after the black armored figure crushed the white jade token, Gu Fei, who was at the edge of the third floor of the heavenly tomb, felt something and stopped. Time flies. It seems that I should go back to the second floor, Gu Fei muttered to himself, and then changed direction and walked towards the edge of the third floor of the heavenly tomb. Soon he came to the crystal wall. Xun'er, I'm so glad you're okay. At the entrance of the third floor of the heavenly tomb, Gu Yang and Gu Yao fled here first. After seeing Xun'er come here early, Gu Yang was relieved. Where is brother Gu Fei? Gu Yao glanced around Xun'er, frowned, and asked, Yes, isn't brother Gu Fei with you? Gu Yang also frowned. Gu Fei is the most outstanding genius of their ancient clan, and he must not get into trouble in the heavenly tomb. I don't know, I guess. Brother Gu Fei should have entered the third level, but the energy light curtain at the entrance to the third level is already Shizuwa. I tried to break through it, but the speed is too slow. Besides, there are ancient devouring insects inside the crystal wall. The place I broke through was gradually closed by the energy they spit out, so I had to withdraw first. Xun'er pointed to a hole in the crystal wall and explained slowly, Ancient devouring insects? Hearing this, Gu Yang and Gu Yao frowned again. As people of the ancient clan, they also knew about this kind of thing. Ancient devouring insects are a small magical beast that lived in ancient times. They are extremely small in size, but their number is endless, and they can devour everything, and then continuously secrete pure energy. This huge energy crystal wall was created by those little guys. What should we do? The energy storm will soon blow over here. If we don't enter the third level, we will all die here. Gu Yao and Gu Yang were in a dilemma. Then, Huozi and Yuan also came here. Then, 8 people from the Thunder Clan, Medicine Clan, Stone Clan, and Spirit Clan arrived one after another. No matter what, even if there are ancient devouring insects inside, there is still a glimmer of hope. If we continue to stay here, we will die. Gu Yang made a decision and planned to bombard the energy crystal wall in front of him. As soon as the voice fell, the fighting spirit in Gu Yang and Gu Yao's bodies roared like a flood, and finally turned into a series of extremely huge fighting spirit strands, fiercely bombarding the light curtain in front of them that had solidified into a substance. Even though the light curtain was extremely hard, it burst into cracks under such bombardment, and finally with a click, a small pit half a foot in size and 3 or 4 meters high was revealed. However, at this speed, It would take several days to break through the energy crystal wall that was hundreds of feet wide, not to mention that there were extremely dangerous ancient devouring insects inside. Where is Master Gu? Why isn't he here? Although Huozi didn't have a good relationship with Xun'er, he took the initiative to talk to Xun'er. A total of 16 people came in this time, but only 13 people gathered here now. No one cared about the 2 people from the Soul clan, and many people were concerned about where Gu Fei had gone. Brother Gu Fei has already reached the 3rd floor, Xun'er answered very confidently at this moment, because she believed that with Gu Fei's strength, if he was still on the 2nd floor, he would have arrived here long ago. As expected of Gu Fei, he can enter the 3rd floor alone. Hearing that Gu Fei had reached the 3rd floor, Huozi was relieved. Yuan, do it. Liao, Yao Xingjai, Shilezi, Ling, if you guys are still watching the show, prepare to die here. The next moment, Huozi also joined the team to open up the crystal wall, and reminded the people from the Thunder clan, the Medicine clan, and the Stone clan. The 2 people from the Medicine clan, one of whom was Yao Xingjai, and the other was a young woman dressed in hot clothes. After seeing Huozi's actions, they also helped to do it. No one wanted to die here. Several people continued to push forward, and in 10 minutes, they finally pushed forward to a depth of more than 10 feet. At this time, the energy pressure from the outside was getting stronger and stronger. Even faintly, one could hear the humming sound of the wind caused by the storm. No, time is too tight, and our speed is so slow. Liao showed impatience on his face, stopped hitting the passage, and sighed. If Brother Lei Dong came to the heavenly tomb this time, he would have smashed through this damn crystal wall long ago. Yes, Brother Lei Dong has now reached the level of a 2-star Sheng. Alas, it's a pity that Brother Lei Dong is still in the trial of the Thunder Pool. Another person from the Thunder clan also stopped. What's the use of saying that? Hurry up and do it, otherwise everyone will die. Seeing this, Huozi looked at the 2 people from the Thunder clan with disdain. While the 2 people from the Thunder clan were resting, everyone found that the crystal wall was slowly closing and some white bugs were drilling. How could this happen? This time, everyone was even more desperate. What was outrageous was that a large number of ancient devouring insects appeared, and they could even devour their attacks. I seemed to sense the breath of strange fire. Suddenly, a red light shone brightly between Huozi's eyebrows, making her look particularly beautiful. What strange fire? Yuan stopped and looked at Huozi in surprise. This is the breath of Gu Fei. Huozi carefully sensed it on the spot, and suddenly looked at the right front of the passage in surprise, with a kind of expectation in her beautiful eyes. Everyone's eyes followed. There, the extremely hard passage wall was melted without any resistance, and a dazzling firelight shone on everyone's faces. Everyone's eyes were subconsciously half closed. Behind the firelight, Xun'er, Huozi and others saw a familiar figure. Chapter 204. Take care of your wife. She's too fierce. Gu Fei, it's Brother Gu Fei. Brother Gu Fei, it's really him. This man actually reached the 3rd floor of the heavenly tomb a long time ago, and he even returned easily. Such strength is beyond our reach. So handsome. I wish he was my man. Wow, the savior is finally here. As the flames faded, everyone finally saw the figure behind the flames of hope. This thin figure was so majestic in everyone's hearts at this moment. What are you standing there for? Let's go. Gu Fei looked at everyone, and his faint voice was like a ray of light in despair. Brother Gu Fei, my guess was right. You reached the 3rd floor a long time ago. You came back this time specifically to save me, right? Xun'er narrowed her eyes into a straight line, and the joy in her heart could not be concealed at all. Hearing her words, Gu Fei was speechless. This woman was really weird and always centered on herself. He turned around and ignored Xun'er. At this time, everyone followed closely behind Gu Fei. As Gu Fei urged the strange fire, they could move forward leisurely. The ancient devouring insect that had caused everyone a headache before was burned into nothingness in an instant when it encountered Gu Fei's strange fire. Not long after, everyone left the extremely thick crystal wall and came to the 3rd layer. Mr. Gu Fei, I really thank you so much this time. If it weren't for you, I would have been buried in the heavenly tomb this time. After coming out, the hot-dressed woman from the Medicine clan quickly approached Gu Fei. Then she bowed to thank Gu Fei. Her clothes were already revealing, and when she bowed, The snow-white scenery under her neck was immediately revealed, which was very tempting. "Yaomer, you are too scheming. Don't you think you can seduce someone like this?" Xun'er was standing in a position where she could see this scene. She was a little unhappy and said angrily, "Xun'er, what's wrong with me? Did I provoke you? Don't think that you can look down on everyone just because you have divine blood." Hearing Xun'er's angry scolding, Yaomer did not show any weakness and retorted. The quarrel between the two made it seem like a confrontation between the original wife and the mistress. Gu felt a headache. He moved away from Xun'er and Yaomer and came to Gu King Yang and Gu Yao. Gu had basically explored the periphery of the third layer. There were mostly energy bodies at the 8-star and 9-star levels. Occasionally, some semi-saints could be encountered. As for the deeper part, even some energy bodies with the strength of 1-star Shank could be seen. Later, Gu did not act rashly. He chose to play it safe. After all, in the third layer of the heavenly tomb, in addition to the terrifying existence of Yuan, there were many powerful energy bodies, and they might reach the level of mid-leveled Shank. The third layer of the heavenly tomb is so terrifying. Gu Yao looked a little solemn. The more terrifying the place, the more opportunities there are. Gu King Yang was open-minded. After hearing this, his eyes showed a desire to become stronger. "Mr. Gu, thank you so much this time. Not only did you save us, but you also told us the information about the third floor." Huozi listened on the side. After Gu King Yang, and Gu Yao finished talking, he chose to step forward to thank them. At this time, Xun'er and Yaomer were still arguing. "Brother Gu, originally, I felt that I was going to die in the heavenly tomb this time. Fortunately, you appeared. Your appearance was simply the light that appeared in my despair." "How about this, Huozi? This woman looks pretty good, but she has a bit of a bad temper. You can take Huozin and become relatives with my Yan clan." Huojuan also came over to thank him. "This guy is very active and full of dirty talk." As Huojuan's voice fell, Gu King Yang, and Gu Yao were stunned for a moment. This guy's words turned too fast. "Huojuan, what are you talking about? Are you asking for a beating?" Huozi's cheeks turned red, and she immediately made a gesture of hitting Huojuan. However, this was just an appearance. In her heart, she actually admired Huojuan very much, and helped her say what she dared not say. "Don't hit him. Don't hit him. Brother Gu, please take care of your unmarried woman. She is too cruel." Huojuan quickly jumped away, but her mouth was still full of dirty talk. When Huozi heard this, her pretty cheeks became even redder. When she caught a glimpse of Gu's somewhat embarrassed expression, she couldn't help but feel happy. She secretly thought that she would definitely reward Huojuan well later. "Laowo, don't brag about your Lei clan's Lei Dong anymore. Brother Gu is the strongest person of our young generation," Shilezi of the Stone Clan said to Laowo, and then came close to Gu. "The people of the Stone Clan have always been upright." At this moment, in order to thank Gu for saving their lives, they actually knelt on one knee and performed a great ceremony. "Get up." Seeing Shilezi's action, Gu was stunned again, and then raised his hand to help him up. Laowo was not convinced by Shilezi's words just now. In his heart, Lei Dong was the unreachable peak. Even if Gu had merged several kinds of strange fire, he would never be able to beat Lei Dong, whose fighting spirit had transformed into black magic thunder. Although he was dissatisfied with that statement, Gu's life-saving grace was real, and Laowo was not the kind of person who could not distinguish right from wrong. "Everyone, I wish you good luck." Gu stayed here for a while, and then Chi Chen went to the depths of the third floor again. This time, he was still alone. Because of the big gap in strength, the other people of the Gu clan could not keep up with his pace at all. "Brother Gu, wait for me." Seeing Gu leave, Xun'er finally stopped arguing with Yao Me and chased after him. However, Gu's speed was much faster than before, and he soon disappeared from Xun'er's sight. "Xun'er, the third floor is full of dangers. You'd better not be willful and go alone," Gu King Yang said seriously from behind. "Brother King Yang, I will be fine. Brother Gu will protect me." Xun'er didn't listen at all at this time. She left a word and continued to chase in the direction where Gu disappeared, which made Gu King Yang shake his head. "She is too ridiculous." Gu Yao was also angry at this time. No matter what, Xun'er was the blood of the ancient clan. If Xun'er really got into trouble, it would be a huge loss for the ancient clan. Everyone, the third level of the heavenly tomb is dangerous. Why don't our two clans go together so that we can take care of each other? At this time, Yuan came to the two of them and invited Gu Hei Yan. That's good. There is strength in numbers. Even if we encounter an energy body at the semi-saint level next time, we will have the strength to fight. Gu Hei Yan nodded and agreed happily. Chapter 205 Yuan, my friend, stop it. Above the vast gray-brown land, a faint energy mist floated slowly with the breeze. This hazy world gave people an extremely mysterious feeling. In this lonely world, it seemed that even time had lost its concept. Somewhere in this land, Gu Fei was sitting cross-legged. In his hands, he held two energy cores, both from the semi-saint energy body, who at a certain moment, the wind around suddenly became fierce, and three energy bodies with powerful auras suddenly appeared here. You actually joined forces? I underestimated you. Gu Fei noticed the three approaching, slowly opened his eyes, and stopped practicing. During this period of time, while practicing in the heavenly tomb, he seized more than a dozen semi-saint energy cores, and even obtained 3 energy cores of a one-starred Sheng. With the accumulation of these energies, he successfully broke through to the early stage of the 2-starred Sheng 1.5 years after entering the heavenly tomb. Such progress is not small, and because of Gu Fei's plundering, he became famous among the energy body masters on the 3rd floor of the heavenly tomb. Generally speaking, those powerful energy bodies would stay in their own territories, but this time, 3 Sheng energy bodies joined forces to find Gu Fei. 1 2-starred Sheng in the early stage, 2 1-starred Sheng. Not bad, not bad. At this moment, facing the joint attack of these 3 energy bodies, Gu Fei was actually very excited. If he devoured the crystal cores of these 3 energy bodies, Gu Fei's strength could be further improved, perhaps to the middle stage of the 2-starred Sheng. We haven't tasted the flesh and blood of a living person for a long time, especially a powerful living person like you. The leading energy body opened his mouth grimly, and as soon as the voice fell, the 3 launched a thunderous attack on Gu Fei. Come on! Gu Fei's hand appeared with strange fire, and he greeted their attack without panic. The strength of energy bodies is originally lower than that of people with flesh and blood of the same level. If the 2 1-starred Shengs hadn't had the help of the 2-starred Sheng energy body, I'm afraid they would have been killed by Gu Fei in a few encounters. Yellow Spring Palm. The situation here was complicated, but Gu Fei didn't waste time and directly performed the Yellow Spring Palm. A huge palm print descended from the sky. With one palm print, one of the energy bodies at the level of a 1-starred Sheng could not withstand the attack and turned into an energy core suspended in the air. Seeing this, the other 2 also lost their fighting spirit instantly and wanted to leave here. Boom. Gu Fei took advantage of the victory and killed the second 1-starred Sheng energy body, and continued to chase the one who escaped. None of the 3 Sheng energy bodies escaped and all turned into energy cores. In the next 3 months, Gu Fei's strength climbed to the middle stage of the 2nd star. The energy bodies he hunted began to have the strength of 3-starred Sheng. In that battle, many bigwigs in the 3rd level of the heavenly tomb had sensed it. Under Gu Fei's crazy behavior, even some energy bodies that reached the Sheng level began to hide and run away when they saw a living person. More of them hid under the earth. On this day, Gu Fei chased an energy body and came to a wasteland. There was not even a stone here, and it was pitch black. Boom. Gu Fei stood in the sky and hit with a palm, intending to kill the one who escaped. But suddenly, he felt a huge pressure descending here. My friend, be merciful when you can. A voice filled with an ancient flavor suddenly sounded slowly in this space. When the voice sounded, a huge palm print made by Gu Fei dissipated silently. What is this? Gu Fei couldn't help but feel his heartbeat speed up when he noticed this strange situation. There were some ripples in the void in front of him, and then a figure in light blue clothes emerged silently. Greetings, Lord Yuan. The appearance of the figure made the energy body who had escaped from Gu Fei's pursuit very excited. In the sky, the figure raised his head, revealing a face that was not extremely handsome, but always gave people a special feeling. He had black hair draped over his shoulders, and a pair of black eyes, like a black hole, deep and filled with a strange wisdom. Yuan, Junior greets Senior Yuan. Hearing the words of the soul body, Gu's face gradually became solemn, and then he bowed to the man in the sky with great respect. It was Master Yuan who took action. That living person is extremely arrogant. I hope Master Yuan can teach him a lesson this time. As Yuan appeared, some powerful energy bodies in other places sensed it, and their faces showed a touch of excitement. Junior, you are very good. Yuan's eyes were on Gu Fei, and praise could be heard in his faint voice. For so many years, you are the most outstanding young man who came to the third floor of this heavenly tomb. But you should also know that the heavenly tomb is full of deceased people, and this is their resting place. You did this too much. When Yuan finished the last two words, Gu Fei's heart was pounding. Fortunately, Yuan did not show any signs of taking action against him, but changed his tone. He sighed. Originally, this world was a place for everyone to rest in peace, but because of the birth of something, the dead in it were all planted with devouring factors. If it weren't for my shock for so many years, Gu Fei knew what Yuan was referring to. The thing that planted the devouring factor in the dead was the soul of the heavenly tomb born from the heavenly tomb. If Yuan hadn't suppressed it, these powerful energy bodies in the heavenly tomb would not be so peaceful now that they have divided their own areas. Senior is right. This time, I really went too far in hunting. Gu Fei bowed again. He didn't contradict Yuan. The energy core in you is enough for you to cultivate until the heavenly tomb expels you. You can stop for the next period of time. After leaving this sentence, Yuan's figure gradually dissipated. Gu Fei saw Yuan leaving, and then he found that he had broken out in a cold sweat. Farewell, Lord Yuan. The energy body that survived the disaster knelt down again in the direction where Yuan disappeared. He understood that since Yuan had spoken, Gu Fei would never dare to attack him again. Gu Fei did not stay. He directly found a secluded place nearby to retreat. With the many energy cores he got this time, he was sure to cultivate to the peak of the second star. At this time, in another place on the third floor of the heavenly tomb, Xun'er was encountering a semi-saint energy body. Originally, Xun'er felt that she was in danger this time, but when she showed the 7-color family pattern, the semi-saint energy body trembled all over. The same 7-color family pattern as that of the evil star. Ah! With a terrified cry, the semi-saint energy body, which was obviously much stronger than Xun'er, fled without a fight, leaving Xun'er extremely confused. Chapter 206 Xun'er's Pride. What's going on? Looking at the half-saint energy body that was escaping from her like crazy, Xun'er, who had originally planned to fight to the death, was full of doubts. Just now, when I hadn't activated the clan mark, he was still ferocious and wanted to swallow me, but when I showed the clan mark, he felt so scared. Could it be because, Xun'er gently stroked the 7-color clan mark on her forehead with her jade hand, and her eyes gradually became enlightened. In this celestial tomb, only Gu Fei had the 7-color clan mark of the ancient clan like her. It seems that the other party was afraid of Gu Fei who also had the 7-color clan mark. That's why he was so terrified when he saw his 7-color clan mark. It seems that brother Gu Fei has saved me again. Thinking of this, Xun'er's mouth curved, revealing a sweet and happy smile. However, after this encounter with the half-saint energy body, she gradually calmed down, knowing that if she continued to go deeper, she would probably encounter a stronger energy body, and maybe a real Qing level would appear. So, she began to turn back and practice with those 9-star energy bodies. Bang. Bang. 3 days later, Xun'er came to a place with strange rocks and sensed a wave of fighting, which seemed to have a familiar breath. It seems to be brother King Yang and his group. It seems that they are in trouble. Following the wave of fighting, Xun'er quickly flashed and followed. On the top of a black mountain, stood a figure holding a ghost-headed broadsword. This person was dressed in a dark red robe, with a cold face and several scars on his face, which gave people a kind of tyrannical and fierce aura. Not everyone among the living is so strong. Haha, I don't know how many years I haven't tasted the flesh and blood of a living person. The red figure stared at Gu Qingyang, Gu Yao, Huo Zi, and Huo Zhuan below with a bloodthirsty look. Everyone be careful. Gu Qingyang looked at the guy who claimed to be the Blood Knife Saint with fear in his eyes. During this trip, they underestimated the gap between Xun and Semi-Saint. Even if the 4 of them joined forces, they still had a hard time facing a Semi-Saint energy body. Earth-covering seal. A brilliant energy light seal quickly formed in Gu Yang's hand, and then fiercely shot towards the Blood Knife Saint. A trifling trick. Seeing the energy light seal coming, the Blood Knife Saint smiled disdainfully, and the ghost-headed sword in his hand directly slashed through the void twice. The two huge blade lights tore through the space, and one blade tore the energy light seal apart. The remaining blade energy rushed directly towards Gu Yang, but he dodged it at the last moment. This person is very fast, let's not split up and attack together. Huo's cultivation level is comparable to Gu Yang, and Gu Yao and Huo Zhuan are not weak either. At this moment, the four people gathered their strength and launched a dense bombardment against the Blood Knife Saint. Blood Blade Slash. Facing the siege of Gu Yang and the other four, the Blood Blade Saint launched a fierce counterattack. As soon as his feet stepped on the ground, his body suddenly spun, like a blood-red tornado, and the surrounding space was instantly shattered into a black hole. Bang bang! The sharp sword energy shot out from the whirlwind like lightning, directly shocking Gu Yang and the other four to fly backwards, and their bodies fell heavily on the surrounding boulders. The terrifying force even turned the boulders into powder in an instant. Damn, this guy is too strong. I'm afraid he is equivalent to a high-level half-saint. Gu Yang suppressed the blood rushing up his throat and said in a hoarse voice, "We can only run, we can't run away, but he will defeat us one by one." Huozi proposed to fight to the death. Haha, the four of you can enter this place, you must be geniuses outside. It must taste good to swallow a genius. The Blood Blade Saint showed a bloodthirsty smile. Hey, another one? Suddenly, the Blood Blade Saint looked up at the sky behind him, his eyes more excited. It's Xun'er. Xun'er, leave quickly, this place is not something you can handle. Gu Yang also noticed it. He didn't want Xun'er to follow them into danger, so he immediately urged Xun'er to leave. However, Xun'er didn't listen at all at this time. How could she just sit back and watch her own people in danger? One more person means one more strength. Xun'er, you shouldn't have come. Gu Yao also urged Xun'er to leave at this time. Just now, the moment when Xun'er insisted on coming despite the danger, it seemed that the love in Gu Yao's heart was aroused again. No need to talk nonsense. Today, none of you can escape from the palm of this saint's hand. The Blood Blade Saint laughed and raised the ghost-headed sword with a strong smell of blood again. You are not a true Cheng yet, Xun'er retorted, and then her chi burst out, and golden flames swirled around her. At the same time, the 7-color family pattern on her forehead was activated again, which greatly increased her strength. What is this? When Xun'er showed the 7-color family pattern, the Blood Sword Saint's raised sword suddenly stopped. His hand holding the sword was obviously shaking. Isn't that evil star nearby? Ah, just like the half-saint energy body Xun'er encountered before, the Blood Sword Saint screamed in fear and turned around and fled quickly. Strange, why did he suddenly run away? Huo's beautiful eyes were filled with surprise. The same was true for the others. They could clearly feel that the Blood Sword Saint seemed to have seen something terrifying. Of course, they did not think that Xun'er scared the Blood Sword Saint away. Okay, it's okay, that guy must have been scared to insanity. Xun'er turned around, gently stroked the 7-color family pattern on her forehead, smiled, and spoke to the few people very lightly. My goodness, Ms. Xun'er is indeed a member of the ancient clan's divine bloodline. She has already scared away a semi-saint warrior before she even made a move. Huo Zhuan stood up and complimented Xun'er. No matter what, it was Xun'er's appearance that saved them this time. Hearing what Huo Zhuan said, Xun'er couldn't help but reveal a smug smile on her face, and deliberately glanced at Huozi, who was standing aside. Thank you so much, Ms. Xun'er. This time, Huozi and Xun'er didn't get along. They had been at loggerheads in the ancient world a few years ago. At this moment, she also knew that Xun'er was showing off to her. However, for the sake of saving her life, Huozi's thanks at this moment were very sincere. Xun'er, didn't you catch up with Brother Goof? Gu Yang asked Goof again. No, Brother Goof should have reached the deepest part of the 3rd layer. There, most of the energy bodies are very powerful and I can't keep up. I hope Goof is safe and sound. We can only stop at this edge, otherwise we won't be so lucky if we encounter such a powerful energy body again. Gu Yang glanced at the colorful clan pattern on Xun'er's forehead and seemed to have guessed something, and used the word good luck in his words. Chapter 207 3-Star Fighting Saint System. Improve your cultivation. Deep in the third layer of the heavenly tomb, Gu Fei had already digested most of the energy cores he had obtained. Now, he was already a 2-star Sheng late-stage cultivator, and at this moment, he planned to make a concerted effort to improve his cultivation to 3 stars. Ding. The host consumes 400,000 emotional points to provide an opportunity for enlightenment. The long-term accumulation of emotional points finally played its role again at this moment. With the blessing of enlightenment, Gu Fei entered a mysterious state. In the third layer of the heavenly tomb, the rich energy of heaven and earth rushed towards Gu's body frantically. The energy of heaven and earth here was extremely strong. At this moment, the energy of heaven and earth from dozens of miles or even hundreds of miles away gathered. Gu's body surface actually showed signs of crystallization. Fortunately, his absorption speed was also very fast, and the crystal was only a thin layer. Near Gu Fei, there were several powerful energy bodies that sensed this change. That evil star has become stronger again. He is breaking through. Should we take this opportunity to kill him? If you want to die, go by yourself, don't drag us down. Every time the heavenly tomb is opened, the time these living people enter will not be too long. Wait a few days and the evil star will be out. Knowing that Gu Fei is breaking through, no one dared to take the risk. This gathering of energy from heaven and earth lasted for 2 full days. Gu Fei, who was at the center of the energy storm, finally opened his eyes. The energy storm above his head shrank rapidly and turned into a substantial mass, which was swallowed by Gu Fei. 3-star early stage. This trip is worth it. Feeling the strong fighting spirit in his body at this moment, Gu Fei showed a satisfied smile on his face. In this era, he is already the absolute #1 among the younger generation. Even some of the older generation of strong men were severely suppressed by him. The next moment, Gu Fei's mind moved and he opened the attribute panel to check. Host, Gu Fei, age, 27, cultivation, early 3-star fighting saint, qualification, level 103, physique, level 94, soul, great perfection of heavenly realm, kung fu, great flame heart sutra, heavenly rank primary, mutated martial arts, fighting skills, flame devouring cage, sun finger, heavenly star step, emperor seal, 5 wheels of fire, great heaven creation palm, yellow spring finger, yellow spring palm, yellow spring sky wrath, alchemy, early 9th rank, fusion of strange fire, sea heart flame, blue lotus earth core fire, fallen heart flame, 3000 flames fire, bone spirit cold fire, accumulated emotion value, 606,230. The heavenly rank primary great flame heart sutra can no longer fuse more strange fire. It seems like it's time to upgrade the martial arts. Gu Fei's mind moved, and he began to invest a lot of emotion value to upgrade the martial arts. Consume 200,000 emotional points, and the Great Flame Heart Sutra of the skill is upgraded to the intermediate level of the heavenly rank. As the system prompt sounded, the chi in Gu Fei's body began to flow automatically. The root of the skill operation was very different from before, and the efficiency of absorbing and converting energy was visibly increased by nearly 1-fold. The skill upgraded to the intermediate level of the heavenly rank has completely gotten rid of the limit of the number of fused strange fires and can be infinitely fused. Gu felt it carefully, and suddenly, the space around him fluctuated violently. An irresistible suction came from the surrounding space, as if to forcibly suck him into the space. It seems that the time is up. Feeling this strong suction, Gu Fei also knew that the 3-year time had arrived, and the heavenly tomb was going to force all the living people out. As soon as the voice fell, the surrounding space instantly cracked a big hole. The suction surged, and in a fierce swallow, it swallowed his body in. In the lush mountains, figures floated in the sky, staring closely at the twisted space. Elder Nanhai, today should be the time for the 3-year period to arrive, right? Elder Nanhai nodded lightly, looking at the twisted space. At this moment, he was not as worried as the other elders of the ancient race who were waiting. Although Gu Nanhai had experienced the dangers in the heavenly tomb and was very clear about it, But this time, with Gu Fei entering, Gu Nanhai was not worried about any problems. I don't know how much progress these little guys will make this time. It depends on their own luck. Humphrey. Later. You people of the ancient clan, don't cry. SHH. The figures in the air, each with their own thoughts, were talking to each other, and suddenly a black space crack appeared in this space. The people of the Thunder clan are out. It seems that they have no losses. Seeing the two figures that appeared first, the figures around them also nodded slowly, and looking at the aura of the two, it is obviously much stronger than when they entered the Heavenly Tomb half a year ago. It seems that they have gained a lot in the Heavenly Tomb. People from the Medicine clan, the Spirit clan, and the Stone clan have also come out, as well as the Flame clan. After the two people from the Thunder clan, more people emerged from the space one after another. Most of these people's auras had become much stronger than when they entered the Heavenly Tomb half a year ago. Swish! Under the gazes of those eyes, another space crack appeared, and then, under the gazes of countless eyes, two figures flew out of it. As soon as these two people appeared, they suddenly fell directly to the ground. Surprisingly, these two figures had completely lost their vitality. It's Hunya and Hun Li from the Soul clan. They both died in the Heavenly Tomb. Seeing this scene, many people's faces changed slightly and said in a deep voice. The people from the ancient clan looked at each other, and they were secretly gloating in their hearts. Their two clans were not on good terms, and now seeing these two guys being buried in the Heavenly Tomb, they couldn't help but have such thoughts in their hearts. Hunya, Hun Li. In contrast to the Gu clan, the two elders of the Hun clan waiting here looked ashen at the moment. Originally, they had expected Hunya and Hun Li to secretly eliminate the two divine bloodlines of the Gu clan, but the result was the opposite. These two people, Yuan and the others who had entered the Heavenly Tomb together, also looked at the bodies of Hunya and Hun Li in astonishment, and then they seemed to be thinking about something. Hunya and Hun Li were both 9-star Xun. After entering, they were not seen at the entrance of the third floor, which could only mean that they had died before that. Only Gu Fei could do this. These two guys were not good people to begin with, so they died. After Yuan was surprised, he didn't care about it. They all owed Gu Fei a favor, so naturally they wouldn't talk nonsense at this moment. Then, Gu Qingyang, Gu Yao, and Xun'er also walked out of the crack. Huh? Are those Hunya and Hun Li? Gu Qingyang's eyes suddenly stopped at the two figures floating in the sky. He was stunned and said in astonishment. Xun'er knew about this a long time ago, but she didn't tell anyone along the way. After all, this kind of thing will worsen the relationship between the two clans and give the Hun clan an excuse to attack. Gu Fei was the last one to come out of the crack. At this moment, he seemed to have returned to his original state, and people couldn't see through his strength. Haha, Gu Fei, you are really good at giving people surprises. You actually increased your strength by 2 stars. As Gu Fei walked out of the crack, several voices of surprise were heard in the sky outside the mountain range. Chapter 208. Is the ancient clan going to go to war with the Soul clan? Even though the space of the Heavenly Tomb was full of energy and had a wonderful time difference, but it was incredible for a Daoshin level warrior to be promoted to the 2-star level in 3 years. At least, among all the candidates who had entered the Heavenly Tomb so many times, it was the first time that someone had made such a terrifying progress. At this moment, except for the Gu clan leaders hiding around who saw Gu Fei's changes, no one on the scene knew about it. Mom, Daddy is out. Daddy, I'm here. Below, the two little guys led by Xian and Care were very happy to wave at Gu Fei in the sky. Gu Fei also noticed the two little guys below, with a gentle smile on his face. He was about to walk down. However, he was blocked by a figure. Gu Fei, I ask you, did you kill Hunya and Hun Li? The elder of the Soul clan, a strong man at the level of a semi-saint, came to Gu and questioned him. His eyes were bloodshot, and he was panting like a cow, as if he wanted to kill Gu Fei immediately. This question attracted the attention of everyone present. In their opinion, if the two people from the Soul clan were really killed by Gu Fei, things might be a bit troublesome today. This person from the Soul clan is so brave. If it weren't in the ancient realm, I would have smashed his head. Seeing someone stopping Gu Fei, Xian's face suddenly turned cold. Yes, Aunt Xian, that person doesn't look like a good person. Delaying Daddy's time. Now Xianlin Wushwang, The two little guys immediately echoed Xian's words. I killed them. So what? Gu frowned when he heard the shout, and his light voice startled everyone. They didn't expect Gu to not hide the fact that he killed two people from the Soul Clan. This will lead to a serious deterioration in the relationship between the two clans, and may even trigger a war between the two clans. You all heard it. He personally admitted to killing two people from my clan. The elder of the Soul Clan blushed and spoke to the many people from the ancient races present. He wanted to use the emotions of the crowd to put pressure on the ancient clan and not let Xun'er and others die in vain. Why didn't Gu deny his answer? As long as he insisted that he didn't kill the two Soul Clan members, who could find out that he did it? Gu Yang saw this scene. His face was very confused, and he didn't understand what Gu meant. Perhaps Brother Gu doesn't bother to hide anything. Aren't they just two Soul Clan members? Kill them if you want. And besides, it was those two who attacked me first. Xun'er replied in a low voice. This made Gu Yang furious, and he shouted in his heart that Gu killed those two people. Well, this time, this is the territory of the ancient clan. This is how the ancient clan treats guests. Will you dare to come to the ancient world in the future? They kill people if they say they will. It's unreasonable. The elder of the Soul Clan was still inciting everyone. He wanted to tarnish the image of the ancient clan through this incident. Don't fart here. It was obviously the two Soul Clan members who wanted to ambush and kill me in the heavenly tomb. Brother Gu saw them and killed them. At this moment, Xun'er finally couldn't help it and swore at the elder of the Soul Clan. Is there such a thing? Gu Nanhai, who was originally thinking about calming down the incident, could not help but burst into anger when he heard Xun'er's words. If this was true, the two people from the Soul Clan deserved to die. Nonsense. Everyone knows that Gu of the ancient clan is a semi-saint. With him around, how could Xun'er and Hun do such a stupid thing? The Soul Clan elder immediately argued. After all, their plan was just to find the ancestors of the Soul Clan on the third floor to kill Gu. Below, Dao Yixian and Kair did not feel jealous or anything after hearing Xun'er's words, and there was not much emotional change. In their opinion, Xun'er was in danger, and Gu, her ex-husband, saw it and helped her, which was not strange. As for Gu's safety, they were not worried at all. There were so many powerful people from the ancient clan here, and the people of the Soul Clan could not play any tricks. After saying so much, how do you, the Soul Clan, want to deal with this matter? Just as the Soul Clan elder was defending, Gu showed a sneer on his face. Killing someone means paying with your life. Before the Soul Clan elder finished speaking, Gu reached out and grabbed his neck. The power shocked the Soul Clan elder. He, a Cheng, could not resist at all. Two ants, just kill them. You still want me to pay with my life? Gu's face was full of disdain. Gu quickly released the Soul Box elder. Are you Gu Clan going to go to war with my Soul Clan? Seeing this scene, the Gu Clan elder who was collecting the remains of Xun'er and Hun on the other side immediately shouted to stop Gu. Seeing this scene, some people from the Gu Clan who were present also frowned. Gu's behavior seemed a bit extreme. Although the relationship between the Gu Clan and the Soul Clan has always been not very good, this will cause the relationship between the two clans to deteriorate sharply. Whether to go to war or not is not up to you. Besides, even if we want to fight, will my Gu Clan be afraid of your Soul Clan? Gu replied coldly, and then crushed the Soul Clan elder's neck. A dignified half-saint was killed like a chicken in front of Gu. Gu's strength once again shocked everyone present. A half-saint was killed so easily. Gu's strength must have reached at least one-starred Sheng. One-starred Sheng doesn't have this strength. It is very likely that he has reached two-starred Sheng. Such a monster. I really don't know how he cultivated. At this moment, the last person of the Soul Clan looked at the Soul Clan elder who was crushed to death by Gu. He was angry and full of fear. It is not certain that Gu, the madman, will kill him the next moment. Gu, boy, why are you a little reckless today? Gu Nanhai was also quite surprised when he saw this scene, but that was all. As Gu said, if this really led to a war between the two clans, the Gu Clan would not be afraid. For thousands of years, the Gu Clan has always regarded itself as the strongest ancient race. Gu let go of his hand, and the body of the Soul Clan elder fell to the ground. He glanced at the remaining Soul Clan elder, He did not continue to attack. Keeping him alive would allow him to report back to the Soul Clan, preferably with some exaggeration. Guf's current goal was to make the matter bigger, so that the Soul Clan would be hesitant to do anything. It was possible that the Soul Clan's 1,000-year-old plan would be postponed, as long as the Spirit Clan, the Stone Clan, and others were not in trouble. The Soul Clan's strength would not completely crush the Ancient Clan as in the original book. Chapter 209 Xi Yan, your Emperor is back. Ancient Clan, you are very good, very good. The remaining Soul Clan elder said a few words of very good in extreme anger. Then he quietly took away the bodies of Hun Li, and Hun Zai and left. It seems that the people of the Soul Clan will definitely not let it go this time. This matter could have been big or small, but unfortunately after this incident, it has become a big deal. It is not so easy to resolve it. The other people of the ancient races discussed it one by one, speculating whether the Soul Clan and the Ancient Clan would have a war because of this. Young Master Goof must have some purpose in doing this. Huozi was curious. Goof obviously had a better way to deal with it, but he deliberately acted so strong and provoked conflicts between the two clans. Was this his idea alone, or was it the idea of the entire Ancient Clan? Goof didn't pay attention to the voices around him. He bowed to Gu Nanhai and then landed next to Xiao Yan. Daddy, Daddy! The two children immediately ran to Goof, each holding one of his hands. They missed their daddy after not seeing him for half a year. Let's go home. Goof took the two children and walked towards the mountain with Xiao Yan, Kair, Xi Yan, King Lin and others, not caring about what happened just now. Xian, Shuang, I'm going back to the spirit world soon. I'll come to see you later when I have time. On the way back, Linksai, the little girl from the Spirit Clan, came over to say goodbye to the two little guys. This time, she stayed in the ancient world for a full 6 months and established a deep friendship with the two little guys. Xian and Shuang, Sister Linksai, you are leaving. Can you stay a little longer? Xian and Shuang were reluctant to leave. They both realized that if they parted this time, the next time they met might be a few years, or even 10 or 20 years later. Xun'er, let's go. On the other side, the beautiful woman from the Spirit Clan came over and urged Linksai to leave. Everyone, why don't you let Linksai stay in the Ancient Clan for a few years? I can't accept her as a registered disciple. Goof suddenly spoke at this time. Is this appropriate? Hearing Goof's words, the beautiful woman showed joy. The strength Goof had just shown was almost at the level of a 2-star Sheng. He had infinite potential in the future and might reach the peak of the world. Moreover, Goof was also a high-level alchemist. If Linksai became his registered disciple, the resources she could get would be much better than if Linksai stayed in the spirit world. Great, Daddy is so nice. The two little ones were extremely happy. They pulled Linksai to make her agree. Linksai was also very happy, but she still looked at the beautiful woman. Xun'er, since Master Goof has spoken, you should stay in the ancient world for a few years. When you want to come back, we will pick you up. The beautiful woman smiled and nodded. Yes, Linksai pays homage to the master. The next moment, Linksai respectfully saluted Goof. Okay. Goof smiled, and then took out a bottle of elixir as a gift to his disciples. Next, the group returned to the mountain where Goof was. After not seeing each other for more than half a year, everyone had a lot to say. At the same time, in the depths of the ancient world, several elders of the ancient clan gathered in a hall. Elder Nanhai, this time, Goof has really humiliated the Soul Clan? It is estimated that soon, the Soul Clan will come to ask us for an explanation. Several elders were discussing what happened just now, but no one blamed Goof. With the talent Goof showed now, ordinary elders are not qualified to judge whether he is right or wrong. As long as Goof does not do something like treason, no one will punish Goof. It is too late to worship him like a treasure. Come on, Goof has already killed the Soul Clan people. We can't not let someone come over to say a few words. Gu Nanhai laughed and said indifferently, you can't say that. Suddenly, an old man in a green robe entered the hall. This person was Gu Dao, the head of the 3 immortals of the ancient clan. What does Elder Gu Dao mean? Gu Nanhai asked with some doubts. The Soul Clan wanted to kill Xun'er in the heavenly tomb this time, but Gu Fei only killed 3 people. It was too easy for them. After hearing what Gu Dao said, Gu Nanhai realized that he had misunderstood. Elder Gu Dao, before, the descendant of the Zhao family made a request before leaving. Ask our Gu clan to help find his father. We sent people to investigate and found that this matter is related to the Soul clan. Gu Nanhai mentioned another thing. It seems that the Soul clan also covets that piece of ancient jade, but that thing is useless without any piece of it. Even if we get the piece of Zhao clan, it's not of much use. Gu Dao sighed. Obviously, he didn't realize that the Soul clan coveted not only the piece of ancient jade from the Zhao clan, but all the ancient jades. Since you promised the descendant of the Zhao clan, you should mention this matter when the people of the Soul clan come to ask for an explanation soon. Brother Gu Fei, you promised me before that you would go back to Dragon Island with me. 3 days later, on the mountain where Gu Fei was, Yan brought up this matter again. Don't worry, I remember. Gu Fei smiled and promised Yan. This time, he didn't plan to drag it out. With his current strength, he could already give Yan a lot of help. However, simply controlling the attack of the 3 Dragon Kings should not be a big problem. If everything goes well, the North Dragon King will not have the opportunity to contact the Sky Demon Phoenix clan. Next, Gu Fei and Yan quietly left the ancient world as before. After leaving the ancient world, Yan directly established a space channel leading to Dragon Island. The two traveled for a while, and finally a ray of light appeared in front of them. The vision in front of him was no longer the monotonous silver, and the lush green and mountains filled his eyes again. The land that appeared in front of Gu Fei, of course, it would be more appropriate to describe it as an island. The island is extremely vast. Above the sky of the island, there is a circle of light silver bowl-shaped light cover hanging down, wrapping the entire island, and the outside is pitch black. The arrival of Yan and Gu Fei was obviously sensed by the Dragon Clan strongmen on the island. Several figures flew out of the island. The closer they got, the stronger the Emperor's pressure emanating from Yan became. I'm back. Yan spread the wings of the phoenix behind her and flew directly over the island. Recommend a friend's book. Fighting break. Fighter retires the engagement with Fighting Saint. Do you think it's female frequency? There is a through train below. Click to add it to the bookshelf collection. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 210, Kill the Northern Dragon King. Unify the Dragon Clan. The wings of the phoenix. The body of the ancient dragon. Looking at the pair of purple gold wings behind Yan, the faces of the Dragon Clan warriors were extremely excited, and they suddenly knelt down in the sky. The respectful voices revealed a piety from the heart. Welcome to the Lord Dragon Emperor. Welcome to the Lord Dragon Emperor. Even the third elder of Donglong Island, Julie, did not call Yan's name at this moment, but respectfully called the Lord Dragon Emperor. Everyone get up. Yan raised her hand. At this moment, she had a noble aura that seemed to be comparable to the heaven and earth. Under this aura, no one dared to regard her as the naughty little girl. Instead, they completely recognized her as the new Dragon Emperor of the Taixu Ancient Dragon Clan. Now, my Taixu Ancient Dragon Clan is falling apart, and the 3 major Dragon Islands are separatist. From today on, this emperor will conquer the other 3 islands and unify the Dragon Clan as soon as possible. Restore the former glory of the Dragon Clan. This time, Yan did not hesitate and directly began to organize the forces of Donglong Island to prepare for a rebellion. In the original work, Yan showed her strength after breaking through the Qing, but she had not yet fully absorbed it and needed a long period of seclusion to cultivate. This gave the North Dragon King, West Dragon King, and South Dragon King the opportunity to unite. This time, Gu Fei, who was prepared, naturally would not let this happen. It is necessary to fight quickly and catch the 3 Dragon Kings off guard. On Donglong Island, within an hour, the people of the Dragon Clan of Donglong Island had assembled the expeditionary force. In this case, It was useless for the spies planted by the three Dragon Kings to report the news. When their information arrived, the East Dragon Island army led by Xian had already arrived. "Let's go to Beilong Island first." Xian waved her hand to open a space crack, and the mighty dragon army poured in. Gu Fei also followed Xian. At the end of the space channel, there was also an island floating in the void. It was larger than Donglong Island. The overall strength of the dragons on Beilong Island was also stronger than that of Donglong Island. "The Dragon Emperor is here. Why don't you come out and pay homage to the Dragon Emperor?" Countless Donglong Island warriors were suspended outside Beilong Island, shouting majestically, "Dragon Emperor, on Beilong Island." Many dragon warriors were puzzled when they heard those two words. The next moment, Xian came in front of the Donglong Island people, and the huge aura radiated the entire Beilong Island. "It's really the Dragon Emperor." Under the natural blood pressure, more than 90% of the dragons on Beilong Island could not bear the blood pressure and knelt on the ground. Who dares to pretend to be the Dragon King? In this situation, a figure quickly rushed out from Beilong Island and confronted Xian. This was a middle-aged man wearing a dragon robe. His identity was the Dragon King of the Beilong Island lineage of the Taixu ancient dragon clan, the Northern Dragon King. "It really is royal blood. Didn't the spies say that those with royal blood were only at the 7th level? How could they break through to Cheng in just a few years?" The Northern Dragon King felt the aura on Xian that was a bit stronger than his own, and his face was filled with surprise. "Jib, you instigated the rebellion of your clan members, which led to the division and decline of the Dragon Clan. Today, if you can admit your mistake, I can give you a lighter sentence and only extract the trace of royal blood in your body and punish you to be imprisoned for 1,000 years. Will you obey the law?" Xian's cold voice sounded. "Imprisoned for 1,000 years?" Hearing Xian's words, the Northern Dragon King's face was ferocious. He had been in a high position for a long time, so how could he give up easily and be imprisoned forever? "Haha, as long as I kill you, the Dragon King, I will still be the Dragon King from now on." The North Dragon King directly refused to surrender. "You dared to disobey my order. You are looking for death." Xian clenched her palm, and a dark golden spear appeared in her hand. On the tip of the spear, a vast fighting spirit surged, and she attacked the North Dragon King. Bang! The North Dragon King's arm turned into a dragon claw, colliding with the spear, making a metallic collision sound. The terrible force on the spear directly cracked many of the scales on the North Dragon King's dragon claws. In the first attempt, the North Dragon King had already understood the gap between himself and Xian, whether in terms of cultivation or physical strength. He was no match for Xian. What's more, now on Beilong Island, more than 90% of the tribesmen dared not move because of Xian's royal bloodline. In this way, he was isolated and helpless. For now, the only way to fight against this young Dragon King is to drag Xun'er and Zhuzai into the water together. The North Dragon King thought quickly and had already thought of a plan. "Niece Xian, I am your elder after all. Can you let me consider today's matter?" the North Dragon King asked. "This emperor has already given you a chance." Xian was unmoved. She knew that the North Dragon King was stalling for time and looking for an opportunity to escape. The next moment, she launched another fierce attack with the spear in her hand. The North Dragon King did not dare to continue fighting. In a purple light, he directly turned into a 1,000-foot-long purple dragon. "Wait until the three of us Dragon Kings gather together, and then meet you, the Dragon King." After the North Dragon King turned into his original body, with his strong physique, he withstood Xian's attack and fled towards the endless void space outside Dragon Island. "Want to run?" Moo. On the other side, Gu Fei was already prepared. He quickly formed seals with his hands, and a huge soul phantom quickly appeared outside his body. Then, a soul sound wave that shook the world roared in this void space. The sound wave arrived in an instant and hit the huge body of the North Dragon King fiercely. The body of the Northern Dragon King was indeed terrifyingly strong, but Gu Fei's soul, which had reached the great perfection of the heaven realm, was their nemesis. Bang! The huge body was hit directly by the soul sound wave, and the speed of the Northern Dragon King was also slowed down. The dragon scales on his body, which were like fine iron, were directly torn apart. His soul also felt severe pain under the impact of this sound wave. Asshole! Hit by the soul sound wave, the eyes of the Northern Dragon King also turned blood red. Who are you? How dare you interfere in the affairs of my dragon clan? The Northern Dragon King raised his claws and slapped Goof, the one who wants your life. Facing the dragon claw, Goof did not move at all and raised his fist to meet it. Crack! After a collision, a huge energy storm was generated on the spot, and black holes were punched out in the void space. However, the scene of Goof being slapped away as expected by many Dragon Clan masters did not appear. Instead, there was a burst of broken bones and the screams of the Northern Dragon King. The Northern Dragon King never expected it. A weak human race. How could he compete with the Taixu ancient Dragon Clan, which was at the peak of the magic beast, in terms of physical strength? Rebels shall be killed. Goof was there to intercept, and Yan soon followed, stabbing the spear fiercely into the dragon head of the North Dragon King, causing a massive flesh and blood to explode. Chapter 211 Brother Goof, I'm still missing a Dragon Queen. Yan hit the huge dragon head of the North Dragon King with all her strength, and the flesh and blood exploded. The intense pain made the North Dragon King couldn't help but let out a miserable dragon roar. His huge dragon tail suddenly surged, but it was twitching randomly. Facing the miserable state of the North Dragon King, Goof and Yan showed no mercy. Yellow Spring Palm, Dragon Prison Seal. The extremely fierce attack still fell on the huge body of the North Dragon King. After a while, blood flowed out of the huge dragon body of the North Dragon King like a stream. The dragon scales that were as big as a person almost burst, and deep wounds covered his body like ravines. Indistinctly, the white bones exposed in the wounds could be seen, which was extremely terrifying. Please spare my life, Dragon Emperor. I am willing to surrender and be imprisoned for 1,000 years. I only ask the Dragon Emperor not to kill me. Although the North Dragon King was close to madness at this moment, he knew very well, even if he burned his blood and essence to fight, he could not beat Yan and Goof today. Saving lives is the most important thing. Too late. Yan's eyes showed murderous intent. She turned a deaf ear to the North Dragon King's plea for mercy. The next moment, Yan also restored her original form and transformed into a purple gold dragon. That huge body was slightly better than the North Dragon King. Immediately, she slapped the North Dragon King's back with one claw. After a loud bang, the North Dragon King's entire body seemed to collapse instantly. The Dragon King is mighty. The Dragon King is mighty. In the distance, those dragons from the East Dragon Island who were watching the battle here were all very excited. With such a powerful Dragon King, the integration of the Dragon Clan was a sure thing. On the North Dragon Island, those Dragon Clan warriors who were originally loyal to the North Dragon King were also conquered by Yan's powerful strength. One by one, they all knelt down. Bang! On the other side, the North Dragon King, whose back was broken, had no power to fight back at this moment. After being hit by Yan's attacks again, his dragon eyes slowly closed and he died completely. Tell Zuxi and Xun'er that if they don't surrender, they will end up like Zhubai. After defeating the North Dragon King, all the dragon people on North Dragon Island surrendered to the Dragon King. At this time, Yan did not lead the troops to continue to West Dragon Island and South Dragon Island. She just slowly arranged for the tribesmen to move North Dragon Island to East Dragon Island for merger. Yan, can I borrow the body of the North Dragon King? As the tribesmen of East and North Dragon Island merged, Goof made a request. Originally, the Dragon Tribe members were buried in the Dragon Cave after death. But the North Dragon King was a rebellious tribe member and was not worthy of entering the Dragon Cave. Yan explained. The meaning of this statement was obviously to agree to Goof's request. Thank you, but don't you ask me what I will do with the body of the North Dragon King, Brother Goof. No matter what you do, I will fully support you. Yan's attitude touched Goof very much. How could this girl be so sentimental? Let me be frank, I plan to use the corpse of the North Dragon King to make pills. Don't worry, this is the first time and the last time, Goof explained. Using the corpse of the Dragon Clan to make pills is a taboo for the Dragon Clan, and Goof felt that he had to make it clear. Well, I believe you. When Yan heard that Goof was going to use the North Dragon King to make pills, She frowned slightly at first, but when she heard Guf's last sentence, she nodded without hesitation to show her understanding. Because in Xian's view, the rebellious North Dragon King was no longer worthy of being a member of the Dragon Clan. He also believed that Gu Fei would no longer use the corpses of the Dragon Clan members to make pills in the future. Okay, next, let's wait for the West and South Dragon Kings to surrender. Gu Fei took the corpse of the North Dragon King and went to the void space outside the East Dragon Island. Without the North Dragon King, the West and South Dragon Kings could not cause any trouble. Gu Fei believed that Xian could handle these things by herself. Moreover, as an outsider, he should not interfere too much in the affairs of the Dragon Clan. Gu Fei sat cross-legged in the void space. In front of him was the huge corpse of the North Dragon King. The next moment, flames began to wrap around the body of the North Dragon King. Haha, North Dragon King, don't hide. Suddenly, Gu Fei laughed at the body of the North Dragon King in front of him. With his great perfection in the heaven realm, he had long noticed that part of the North Dragon King's soul was hidden in the crystal core. Damn human boy, if it weren't for you, how could this king end up like this? The soul of the North Dragon King cursed bitterly, but soon turned into a shrill scream. The powerful strange fire penetrated directly into the crystal core and completely destroyed the soul of the North Dragon King. Refine. Gu Fei turned the strange fire into a cauldron, wrapped the body of the North Dragon King, and continuously added other precious medicinal materials during the process. Under the quenching of the strange fire, the body of the North Dragon King continued to shrink and turned into some pure energy liquid. This level of magic beast, and also a dragon, can be said to be full of treasures. Gu Fei happened to have such a 9th grade pill recipe. He could make good use of this body. In the continuous tempering, the dragon shape could no longer be seen in the medicine cauldron composed of strange fire. There was only a ball of extremely pure energy, in which a crystal core was floating. Split. Gu Fei knew that he had no way to refine the 9th grade mysterious pill at present, so he made a bold attempt. Under his control, the crystal core of the North Dragon King gradually split into two. The other energy inside was also split into two, each wrapping half of the crystal core. As time passed, 2 prototypes of pills gradually appeared in the fire cauldron. In the void space, a group of black clouds also floated out, and there was a heart-pounding pressure in the black clouds. The black demon thunder has appeared. It should be stable. Looking at the robbery cloud appearing above his head, Gu Fei's face showed a touch of excitement. Soon, the thunder robbery fell. With a pressure that could destroy the world, it went towards the 2 golden pills in the fire cauldron. Because this time, Gu Fei was refining 2 9th grade treasure pills at the same time, the power of the thunder tribulation was 3 times that of the last time. But for Gu Fei, he did not feel any pressure. Thinking back to the past, he could withstand the black magic thunder tribulation with his half-saint cultivation. Now that he has reached the 3-starred Sheng, he can deal with it effortlessly. Boom boom. In the void, several black magic thunders with a destructive aura fell, all of which were intercepted by Gu Fei. When the thunder clouds dispersed, the 2 golden pills in the fire tripod fled separately. Collect. Gu Fei's mind moved, and the fire tripod turned into 2 fire dragons. Quickly swallowed the 2 escaped golden pills, then returned to Gu Fei's palm. The medicinal power of these 2 dragon essence pills, compared with the 9th grade treasure pill that Gu Fei refined before, they are much stronger. Chapter 212 The Wrath of the Soul Clan. This is a somewhat dark space, with black fog filling the sky, and the cold power permeating every corner of this space. In the deepest part of this space, there is a dark palace. At this moment, in this palace, more than a dozen black shadows gathered. These black shadows have very strong auras. The worst have reached the semi-saint level. Damn it, the ancient clan is bullying too much. The people sent by our clan died in the heavenly tomb. It's okay if they are not strong enough, but those who didn't enter the heavenly tomb, they dared to kill in front of the major ancient races. Do you really think that our soul clan is easy to bully? I think the ancient clan thinks that they are the best in the world and want to start a war. Fight. This time, let them know how powerful our soul clan is. In the hall, a group of soul clan strongmen were angry about Gu Fei killing the soul clan representative before, and they all wanted to start a war. Everyone, please be patient. At this time, a young man came over and everyone in the hall stopped. This man was about 30 years old, and his face looked slightly young, but his face was expressionless, neither happy nor sad. It made people feel that his facial features had become rigid. Of course, the most eye-catching thing was his eyes. His eyes were black, and it was an extremely pure black. There was no white in his eyes, and what he had was a mass of black as ink. From a distance, it looked as if 2 black beads were forcibly inserted into his eye sockets. The young patriarch is here. In the hall, even some of the older generation of Soul Clan masters were very respectful to this young man. The young man was the contemporary genius of the Soul Clan, Hun Feng, and the young patriarch of the Soul Clan. Can't you see that the ancient clan's actions seemed to be intentional? Hun Feng said lightly. His words immediately calmed down many Soul Clan masters present. What does the young clan leader mean? Recently, the ancient clan has been paying much closer attention to our Soul Clan, as if they are investigating something. Moreover, the human hall of the Soul Palace also seems to be related to the ancient clan. Hun Feng explained. It is because of this that the clan decided to postpone the plan to annex other ancient races for a few years. Are we just going to endure this? If we do nothing, won't the other ancient races think that our Soul Clan is a coward? A Soul Clan strongman said unwillingly. The death of Elder Hunxi can't just be let go. Hun Feng's eyes showed a hint of coldness, and he said in a cold voice, we must make the ancient clan pay a painful price. What does the young clan leader mean? The murderer is Gu Fei, known as the #1 prodigy in 1,000 years. The ancient clan will definitely not hand him over. Hun Feng slowly said, we can send a few elders with dashing strength to the East region to kill some people from the ancient clan and teach them a lesson. But the East region is the base camp of the ancient clan. What if we go there and the strong men of the ancient clan take action? Strong men above the 4-star dashing are restricted by the shitty clan agreement and cannot take action easily, as long as the ancient clan breaks the rules first. Don't blame us for not abiding by them. After making a plan, 3 people from the Soul Clan left the Soul Realm. Among them, the strongest one reached the late stage of the 4-star dashing, just not restricted by the clan agreement of the ancient race. Void space. It took so long to refine the elixir this time. Yan should have unified the Dragon Clan. Gu Fei put away the 2 9th-grade precious pills, and his figure was like a meteor, rushing towards the end of nothingness at lightning speed. When Gu Fei returned to Dragon Island again, the almost brand new island made him feel bright. On the vast island, thousands of mountains rose from the ground, surrounded by clouds and mist, and occasionally a huge Taixu ancient dragon flew by. The low sound of dragon roars resounded over Dragon Island. Today's Dragon Island is formed by the union of the 4 major dragon islands. Not only is it huge in area, but the number of tribesmen in it is also the first time in thousands of years that such a number of people have gathered together. After all, the tribesmen in the past were scattered among the 4 islands, and it was extremely difficult for them to appear in one place. Gu Fei's figure was suspended in the sky, and his soul perception swept casually. In his perception, the number of strong people who reached the Cheng level on this Dragon Island was actually more than 10. The defenses above Dragon Island were much stricter than before. Teams of ancient dragon guards with dragon wings vibrating behind them patrolled crosswise. Who is it? A dozen Dragon Island guards spotted Gu Fei and quickly flew towards him. However, when they discovered the identity of the person, the vigilance on their faces suddenly turned into respect. After saluting Gu Fei from a distance, they retreated. Seeing this scene, Gu Fei smiled, moved his body, and flew into Dragon Island. Brother Gu Fei, you are finally back. The sudden appearance of the figure startled Yan slightly. After coming to her senses, she said with surprise, in such a short period of time, Dragon Island has changed so much. You, the Dragon King, really have some abilities. Gu Fei looked at Yan and smiled. He did not mention the previous alchemy, although Yan would usually ask for it after he made the alchemy. This time, the main material of the elixir was made from the body of a Dragon Clan member. Yan naturally would not take it. "Tsk, you've been gone for so long, I couldn't help but go look for you." Yan pouted. In front of Gu Fei, she didn't have the slightest bit of the Dragon King's majesty. and her tone of voice was the same as when she was a little girl. The difference was that she had changed from being funny and cute to being full of playful beauty now. Yan, now that you are the Dragon King, you must maintain the majesty of the Dragon King. Gu Fei continued to joke. He knew that Yan must have had a hard time during this period. What's the use of that majesty? Yan waved her hand. It seemed that she was not so happy to be the Dragon King. Why, are you unhappy? What's your trouble? Tell me. Gu Fei took out a handful of sugar beans. Although I am the Dragon King, I feel too tired to manage the entire dragon clan alone. It would be great if there was a dragon queen to help me. Yan took the sugar beans handed over by Gu Fei, then stuffed one into her mouth and muttered. Although it seemed like she said this unintentionally, her eyes had been secretly glancing at the expression on Gu Fei's face. Find a dragon queen? Your idea is to. Gu Fei was amused by Yan's words. How can a man sit in the queen position? I am the Dragon King, so my man, of course, is the Dragon Queen. Yan retorted. Chapter 213. Yan, is my father really still alive? Yan, if you don't want to worry about so many things and don't want to be the Dragon King, there is actually a way. But what? Gu Fei stopped talking halfway. Yan suddenly became a little anxious. She grabbed Gu Fei's arm with both hands and shook it hard. Tell me, what is the way? Don't keep me in suspense. Yan, do you really want to know? Gu Fei smiled, looked at Yan's bright eyes, and spoke seriously. Brother Gu Fei, if I don't become the Dragon King, no one in the clan can convince the people. Hearing this, Yan's tone was slightly lower. She knew that without the royal bloodline, the Dragon Clan would still split in the future. Therefore, no matter how difficult it was, she would insist on being the Dragon King. Perhaps, there is someone who can convince the people better than you, more suitable to lead the ancient Dragon Clan? Gu Fei smiled. Who is it? Yan knew that Gu Fei would not joke about this matter, and her expression became serious. Your father. What? My father? Hearing this, Yan was stunned. She had almost no impression of her father, from the time she could remember. Yan lived in the forest, living the life of a wild beast every day, until one day, she accidentally ate the transformation grass, and was then taken to Canaan College by the elder of the inner courtyard, Yuan. For so many years, she actually had resentment in her heart, and she always wanted to know why her parents abandoned her. Yan had only heard about her father from the elders of the tribe. She knew that her father was the previous Dragon King, but he disappeared many years ago. From then on, the Taixu ancient dragon clan began to decline and constantly consumed itself. Brother Gu Fei, are you saying that my father is still alive? Yan asked with red eyes. He is indeed still alive. Do you want to see him? Gu Fei nodded. Yan paused for a moment, and finally said softly, well, since you want to see him, I'll take you there. After that, Gu Fei took Yan's hand and walked towards the outside of Dragon Island. A few days later, when Gu Fei and Yan appeared again, they had already arrived in the Black Horn region. Isn't this the Black Horn region? Why are you here, looking at this familiar place? Yan turned around and looked at Gu Fei suspiciously. Don't you want to see the Great Elder? Gu Fei smiled. Yes, I haven't seen the Great Elder for a long time. Yan nodded blankly, not knowing what Gu Fei was up to. Let's go to the inner courtyard first. Gu Fei waved his sleeves, and the power of space wrapped the two of them. After a moment, they appeared in a study deep in the inner courtyard. Who are you? In the study, the great elder of the inner court Yuan noticed the two extra people in the room and was very alert. Young Master Gu Fei. Yuan didn't recognize Yan at once, but fortunately he still remembered Gu Fei. Great elder, I am Yan. You don't recognize me. The faint sadness on Yan's face disappeared, revealing a bright smile. Yan, it's really you. Yuan's face was full of surprise. In the following chat, Yan told her some of her experiences over the years. This made Yuan very happy. He had hoped that Yan could find her people and solve the mystery of her origin. How long do you plan to stay at Canaan Academy this time? Yuan asked politely. I'm here for another very important matter. Yan said, looking at Gu Fei on the side. Haha, Elder Yuan, I'll come to talk to you in detail after I take Yan to do my business. Gu Fei chuckled. Immediately, He used the power of space again, and disappeared with the two of them. After a while, the two entered the bottom of the Tanfenqi training tower. The seal here was almost useless to the two of them. At the bottom of the tower, a young flame of the fallen heart flame seemed very active. However, after seeing Gu Fei appear, it seemed to be a little afraid and trembled. Today's Tanfenqi training tower is more effective than it was back then. After all, the mature fallen heart flame would never obey the commands of the people in the inner courtyard. But now, because of the long-term cultivation, the fallen heart flame will not resist their commands at all. Is my father in here? Xian's face was even more confused. She had stayed in the Tanfenqi training tower for a long time before. If her father had been at the bottom of the tower, it would be fate's trick. Moreover, the bottom of the tower was full of hot magma. Could people stay in such a place? It's right here. Follow me. Gu Fei held Xian's little hand again, and the strange fire surged out, protecting the two of them. Xian really enjoyed the feeling of Gu Fei holding her little hand during this period. If only it could be like this forever. Soon, the two entered the hot magma sea below. The surrounding magma would automatically evaporate when it approached the range of half a foot of the two people's bodies. These hot magmas were obviously not qualified to cause any obstacles to Gu Fei. As they continued to dive, the flame lizard clan that Gu Fei had encountered before appeared in front of them again. The last time he came here, Gu Fei was still a little afraid, but now that Gu Fei's cultivation level has risen to the 3-starred Sheng, he is no longer afraid. These things are so strange. Have they always lived at the bottom of this magma? Why don't they go outside? Xian was curious when she saw this creature she had never seen before. They have their own responsibilities. What responsibilities? To protect the things below, Gu Fei explained with a smile. After he finished speaking, he suddenly stomped his foot lightly, and suddenly, a vast soul wave surged from his brow. In an instant, the surrounding magma exploded, and the strange figures hidden in the magma burst into shrill screams. Shhh. With the appearance of these screams, the surrounding magma suddenly fluctuated violently. Then, Gu Fei saw that dense red figures came from all directions and finally surrounded the two of them. Outside the encirclement, two lizardmen with milky white bodies appeared. They seemed to be much older than the other lizardmen. Moreover, they had reached the level of semi-saints. Human. This is the cemetery of gods, not a place you can come to. Retreat quickly, otherwise you will wake up the guardian and you will be buried here forever. One of the two white lizardmen actually spoke human language. Although it was a bit awkward, the intermittent voice still reached the ears of Gu Fei and Xian. The cemetery of gods? What is that? And what guardian? Xian was confused. However, thinking about the purpose of Gu Fei bringing her here this time, she couldn't help but wonder, could it be that her father was the guardian? Chapter 214 Father and daughter meet. Human, leave quickly, otherwise, you will die. Seeing that Gu Fei and Xian did not leave, the two white flame lizardmen stared at them with cold pupils, and spoke in a jerky tone again. As the two people finished speaking, the surrounding lizardmen suddenly showed some cruelty in their eyes, and the scales on their bodies seemed to have become much darker. Then I'm sorry, I have to go to the bottom of the magma today. Buzz. As the soul fluctuations spread, the magma suddenly fluctuated violently. Under the huge soul pressure of Gu Fei, all the surrounding flame lizardmen were repelled, including the two semi-saints. Puff. The two white flame lizardmen spit out a few mouthfuls of blood and looked at Gu Fei in shock. The flame lizardmen also retreated far away with a look of horror, looking at the demon-like figure from a distance. The terrifying soul pressure made their souls tremble constantly. Let's go. Gu Fei did not kill them. After repelling the fire lizardmen, he continued to take Xian to dive deeper into the magma. You will be punished by God for trespassing into the cemetery of God. Behind the two white fire lizardmen said hoarsely, Foolish human, you are courting death. The two white fire lizardmen looked at each other and did not continue to stop them. They also knew that Gu Fei had shown mercy just now and could not stop them even if they wanted to. Deep in the magma, Gu Fei and Xian continued to dive. They were very fast, but the magma seemed to have no end. The road ahead was always hazy and blurred under the waves of the magma. Brother Gu Fei, my father, Is he really staying in this deep magma? Yan frowned slightly. The depth of this magma sea was far beyond her expectations. Such a big move was simply beyond human power. Moreover, the color of the surrounding magma had gradually changed from red to black at some point. The temperature had also risen to a terrifying level. Yan could clearly feel that Gu's speed was decreasing. Even his strange fire could not quickly eliminate the magma blocking the way. Yan was worried. If they went down further, even with their strength, they might be in danger. Believe me, Gu gave Yan a smile. As a time traveler, he naturally had absolute confidence. Puff. At a certain moment, Gu, who was originally diving at high speed, suddenly stopped. Due to inertia, Yan, who followed closely behind, pressed her body tightly against Gu's back. Gu only felt that his back was hit by a soft mass of something, as if countless electric currents were spreading all over his body, and he felt numb and tingling. What's wrong? Yan's face flushed, and after a while, she shyly got off Gu and whispered, "It's coming." Gu's soul perception showed that this was the end of the magma. It seems so. I feel a very strong spatial force ahead. Yan nodded heavily, although there was still magma in front of her. However, she could feel that there should be another space ahead. To be able to build a space under such deep magma, how great must the Creator's hand be? The next moment, both of them took a tentative step forward with their right foot, and the right foot that was stretched and disappeared in front of them, as if the space was staggered. Sure enough, seeing this scene, Gu and Yan walked in boldly. Originally, the sound of magma flowing that filled their ears disappeared instantly at this moment. What appeared in front of the two of them was an endless space that was somewhat dark and silent. This space, who knows how many years it has been silent, is filled with an ancient and vicissitudes of life. Brother Gu, have you been here before? Scanning this space full of ancient atmosphere, even Yan, who is the Dragon King, leaned against Gu a little weakly. As long as she stayed by Gu's side, she felt particularly safe. I haven't been here, but I've heard of it. Gu smiled and didn't explain too much. Many things were too outrageous to say out loud. While Yan was thinking, Gu pulled Yan to fly deep into the space. In that extremely distant place, there was a faint glow. When they got closer, they found that it was a stone door, a huge stone door of tens of thousands of feet. This stone door stood quietly in this vast space, as if it had existed forever. Standing in front of the magnificent stone door, Gu felt a sense of awe. On the top of this huge stone door, there were 4 ancient characters. Ancient Emperor Cave Mansion. Brother Gu, is this the cave mansion left by Chuash Ancient Emperor, the last emperor in Qi continent, as the legend goes? Yan said in great surprise. The 4 ancient characters did not seem too gorgeous. However, in the plainness, there was an endless majesty that was above the heaven and earth. Yes, Gu nodded. At this time, he did not pay too much attention to the ancient emperor's gate, but summoned the strange fire to light up this dark space. Yan also had some strange feelings at this time. Looking down, her pupils shrank subconsciously, because, in the darkened ancient space, there was a huge monster. A creature that was too huge to describe. This huge and mysterious creature was purple-gold in color, and its body was covered with cold scales. A strong feeling like steel arose spontaneously. At a certain moment, in the dark void, a pair of huge eyes that had been closed for a long time suddenly opened. This pair of eyes showed a faint red color, and the pupils in the eyes overlapped. This pair of eyes alone was hundreds of times larger than Gu's entire body. At the same time, an extremely terrifying pressure directly enveloped Gu and the others. Then, a sound that made the space tremble resounded. A tomb raider can hold an ancient jade. Hearing that voice, Gu explained without hesitation, "Senior, your daughter is here. Don't you recognize her?" "Daughter?" As Gu finished speaking, a trace of confusion flashed across the eyes of the huge creature. The next moment, its attention was focused on Yan, who was beside Gu. In Yan's body, he sensed a blood-related aura. Child. In his huge pupils, the original ferocity gradually turned into a touch of tenderness. The huge pressure around him also dissipated. Chapter 215. Old Dragon Emperor. Boy, I entrust my daughter to you. Child, I am your father. You have the same blood power as me, from the same clan and origin. The giant mouth slowly opened, and excited words came out of his mouth. Hearing this, Yan bit her red lips with her silver teeth, looked at Gu Fei beside her, and held Gu Fei's hand tightly with her small hand, very flustered. Seeing Yan's actions, the giant's pupils actually showed a trace of panic. "It's okay." Gu Fei, on his side, felt Yan's nervousness and gave her a reassuring smile. "Before coming, didn't you make a decision? Whether he is your father or not, you will know if you feel it yourself." Gu Fei encouraged Yan. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Yan finally stopped hesitating. She held Gu Fei's hand and took a few steps forward slowly. When she came closer, she stretched out her other hand and gently touched the heavy, cold metal scales of the giant in front of her. At the moment of contact, brilliant golden light suddenly gushed out from both bodies at the same time. Finally, at the intersection, the two golden lights merged perfectly together. Faintly, an extremely terrifying pressure spread out. Staring at the perfectly intersecting golden light in a daze, Yan's eyes fluctuated violently. "You are really my father, but you are still alive. Why did you make me an orphan for so many years?" Yan stood stubbornly in front of the behemoth, and while speaking, tears were rolling in her eyes. What she had been looking forward to most in her heart was to see her family. At this moment, after seeing them for real, she couldn't help but feel the grievance in her heart. For so many years, she had always thought of herself as an orphan, but she didn't expect that her father was still alive and well. Why did he abandon her back then? My fault. I shouldn't have coveted the ancient emperor's cave. It was that bastard Chuash ancient emperor who set me up. I've been trapped for so long. Seeing the crystal tears flowing down Yan's eyes, the behemoth was obviously a little panicked. Its huge body was shaking a little because it was too excited. Trapped? Hearing the words of the behemoth, Yan raised her head and took a look. There was clearly no chain or anything like that on its body. "Yan, your father didn't lie to you. He really can't get out of this place." Gu Fei seemed to have guessed what Yan was thinking, and hurriedly helped to explain. "Really?" Yan nodded silently. She believed Gu Fei's words unconditionally. Jukun felt suspicious, jealous, worried, and emotional value. "Boy, who are you? Why do you know that this emperor is trapped here?" Listening to the conversation between Yan and Gu Fei, the behemoth seemed to be a little jealous and suspicious at the same time, because Gu Fei knew too much. Junior Gu Fei is Yan's friend. "As for why I know that you, old dragon emperor, are here, it's a long story." Gu Fei replied, neither servile nor overbearing. Through the emotional feedback just now, Gu Fei also knew what the old dragon emperor was thinking. Gu Fei didn't think it was wrong. After all, as a father, it was normal to worry that his daughter would be deceived. "It's a long story. Why don't you tell me?" the old dragon emperor continued to ask. "Brother Gu Fei has already said it's a long story. Why are you asking me? Besides, you are not qualified to question Brother Gu Fei. Have you fulfilled your responsibilities as a father over the years?" Yan was immediately unhappy when she heard the old dragon emperor questioning Gu Fei in this tone. At this moment, she looked angry. As she spoke, tears continued to flow from the corners of her eyes. "Child, don't cry. Don't cry. It was all your fault before. I didn't fulfill my responsibilities as a father. From now on, whatever you ask me to do, I will listen to you. If you don't believe me, I can swear now." Seeing Yan like this, the old dragon emperor felt very guilty and hurried to comfort Yan. However, his comfort didn't work. Yan was still very sad. Tears flowed down. "Gu Fei, please help me persuade her." There was no other way. At this time, the old dragon emperor had to pin his hopes on Gu Fei. He could see that Yan relied on Gu Fei very much, and trusted him almost without reservation. This kind of relationship was definitely not as simple as ordinary friends. Who knows, Gu Fei will become his son-in-law in the future. Yes. Facing the old dragon emperor's request for help, Gu Fei nodded gently, and then turned his eyes to Yan. He gently wiped the tears from Yan's face and said softly, "Yan, your father is not ignoring you. For so many years, he has been trapped in this dark place and can't get out. He has suffered a lot. Your father should be more miserable and miss you more." Gu Fei's words can be said to have touched the hearts of the father and daughter. At this moment, the scene was silent. When Yan looked at the old dragon king, there was also a kind of heartache in her eyes. "Father, I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to leave this damn place, Yan said with a firm look in her eyes. Her previous tone was just emotional, and she was not really blaming Zhu. She also knew that Zhu was very sorry for all this, and Zhu was trapped here for endless years, alone. Child. Seeing Yan calling him father, the old Dragon King showed a touch of kindness in his eyes. Leave this place. However, facing the second half of Yan's words, he suddenly became silent again. He seemed very helpless. Child, I was framed by Chuash ancient emperor because I coveted the ancient emperor's treasure. You should also know the strength of Dali strongmen. If no one comes with a complete ancient jade, I will never be able to leave here. After a moment, Zhu explained helplessly. Complete ancient jade? Yan's eyes were solemn. She also knew some secrets of the continent. The ancient emperor jade has now been divided into 8 parts and is in the hands of various ancient races. How easy is it to reunite? Senior, the ancient jade appeared on the continent 1,000 years ago and was obtained by the Xiao people. But soon, people from other ancient races learned about it and surrounded the Xiao people. They did not allow the Xiao people to take the treasure alone. Under pressure, the Xiao people divided the ancient emperor jade into 8 parts, and each ancient race kept one piece, hoping to reunite the ancient jade. Gu Fei explained some situations to the old dragon emperor. 8 ancient races each hold one piece. Hearing this, the old dragon emperor also understood that there was little hope of reunion. If he could get out, perhaps he would have a chance of snatching the ancient jade, but he didn't have the ancient jade, so he couldn't get out of this place. There was no solution. Chapter 216. When will you get married? No matter how difficult it is, I will find a way to collect the ancient jade and let you, father, come out. Yan said stubbornly at this moment. She finally saw her father. Knowing that her father was still alive, how could she watch her father suffer in this dark place? Yan, I also believe that there will be such a day. Looking at the stubborn Yan, Gu Fei held her little hand and comforted her softly. Alas, the old dragon emperor sighed at this moment. In today's Qi continent, the road to the emperor is cut off. If you can become an emperor, the seal left by the ancient emperor Chuash can naturally be broken, and if you don't have the strength of an emperor, it is basically impossible to suppress the 8 ancient clans and seize the ancient jade. Even the Taixu ancient dragon clan in its heyday could not do it. Yan, what is the current situation of the Taixu ancient dragon clan? Zhu suddenly asked another question that he was more concerned about. If Yan wanted to seize the ancient jade, the strength of the Taixu ancient dragon clan would determine a lot. Back then, after you disappeared, my clan fell apart, and the clan was in constant civil war. Zhubai, Zuxi, and Xun'er proclaimed themselves the 3 great dragon kings and ruled one side. Only Donglong Island continues to support their royal family, while the other 3 islands have been in civil war. The strength of the Taixu ancient dragon clan has also been declining in the years of civil war. Hearing Zhu's question, Yan slowly recounted the history of the Taixu ancient dragon clan. What? Those guys? How dare they do this? Zhu felt very sad when he heard some of the things Yan said. He didn't expect that after he disappeared, the people in the clan would actually do such a thing. What about now? The old dragon king continued to ask. Now, the rebellion in the clan has been suppressed by me, and the people of the 4 islands have gathered together again. I have become the new dragon king. Yan replied. Good, good. You are worthy of being my daughter. Zhu, hearing that Yan became the dragon king, suppressed all the rebellion, and reorganized the dragon clan, the old dragon king was filled with relief and pride. Father, to be honest with you, 10 years ago, I was only at the 5th level. Since I met Brother Gu Fei, I have been eating all kinds of precious elixirs, and Brother Gu Fei later found me the legendary Dragon Phoenix Origin fruit, which only appeared a few times. He helped me refine the Dragon Phoenix Origin fruit and let me break through to the 4-star Sheng. If it weren't for Brother Gu Fei's help, I would never have been able to deal with the rebellion in the clan so easily. Yan roughly talked about Gu Fei's help to her over the years. In 10 years, I grew from the 5th level to the 9th level. Zhu's eyes were a little surprised. When he heard about the Dragon Phoenix Origin fruit, his eyes showed a hint of realization. Back then, when Zhu was still young, He also witnessed the rise of a top powerhouse of the ancient dragon clan who swallowed the dragon phoenix origin fruit. At that time, the ancient sky phoenix also had a top powerhouse with the bloodline of the ancient dragon phoenix, but later, the two top existences both died in a war. Thank you, my friend Gu Fei, for taking care of Yan over the years. Jukan thanked Gu Fei. At this moment, he didn't bother to think about why Gu Fei knew that he was here. Everyone has their own secrets. As long as his original intention is fine, it's fine. Jukan could also see that Yan was very dependent on Gu Fei now, and this dependence had long surpassed the boundaries of friends. Moreover, Gu Fei and Yan had been very close since they came here, and all kinds of physical contact were very natural. Jukan understood that he probably had no hope of getting out in this lifetime. What he hoped for was to see his daughter have a good destination. Senior, you are too kind. Yan and I are friends, and these are nothing, Gu Fei replied modestly. Through the emotional feedback just now, he knew that Jukan had recognized him. Haha, boy. When do you plan to marry Yan? At that time, you must let me, an old man, witness it in person. Jukan said with a smile. Marry? Gu Fei was stunned when he heard Jukan's words. On the side, Yan's face was also flushed. Father, what are you talking about? Hee, you are shy again. You too, since you came in, you have been holding hands and behaving intimately. Do you think you are ordinary friends? Getting married is a matter of time. Jukan's voice was full of ridicule. No, father, brother Gu Fei, he already has a wife. Yan explained shyly. Huh? Hearing Yan's words, Jukan seemed to be a little emotional, and his smile was frozen. He didn't expect Gu Fei to be married, but he didn't get angry. Through Yan's performance, Jukan knew that his daughter must like Gu Fei. In Yan's heart, Gu Fei's position may be higher than that of him, an old father. Senior, Yan and I. Boy, since you have made my daughter fall in love, you must take this responsibility. No matter what happens, you can't make Yan sad in the future, otherwise. The old Dragon King interrupted Gu Fei's words and educated Gu Fei in a domineering manner. A huge pressure enveloped Gu Fei. Even with Gu Fei's current strength as a 3-starred Sheng, he had no ability to resist under such pressure. What are you doing? Seeing this scene, Yan was very concerned and protected Gu Fei tightly, glaring at the old Dragon King. Being glared at by Yan, Jukan instantly withdrew the pressure. Gu Fei, maybe I was a little reckless just now. But you should also understand that there is no father who doesn't want his children to be happy. Jukan lowered his tone, as if to apologize. Junior understands. Gu Fei was not angry. He could understand Jukan's behavior. Moreover, Jukan's words also made Gu Fei begin to formalize his heart for Yan. Do you really just regard her as an ordinary friend? If one day, Yan has to marry another man, can you accept it? I saw a book friend commented on the same content several times. The general meaning is that the Taixu ancient dragon clan was very powerful in ancient times. It was not like now that there is a gap in strength and no top 4-star to 8-star powerhouses. Most of them traveled in the void. As long as they are found back, they can have some mid to high level dashing like the Soul clan in the ancient clan. I am a little confused about this. Can this book friend post your understanding? Take screenshots or tell me where to learn this information. I also hope that other book friends can give suggestions after seeing it to see if there are such settings. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 217 The Soul Clan's Revenge. No, if there really comes a day like that, I can't accept it. Besides, Yan's feelings for me have been going on for more than a day or two. When she asked Yan to call her aunt, I already knew her feelings for me. Gu Fei fell into memories. He and Yan have experienced a lot along the way. The two have helped each other. Even Yan's body has long been seen by him. As a man, how can I let the woman speak first to break this window paper? Gu Fei's eyes became very firm. The next moment, Gu Fei turned to look at Yan, naturally held her fair little hand, and said seriously, Yan, Are you willing to be my woman? Ah! Yan was stunned when Gu finished speaking. It seemed that she didn't react all of a sudden. How many times had she wanted to muster up the courage to say this to Gu? Unexpectedly, at this moment, Gu took the lead in saying it. In an instant, a huge surprise began to surge in Yan's heart. I do. Yan nodded excitedly. The joy on her face could not be hidden at all. Then, she excitedly threw herself into Gu's arms and leaned her head on his chest. Gu also opened his arms and hugged Yan tightly. Cough, cough. Jukan watched this scene and was happy for his daughter's happiness. However, he also felt helpless as if his own cabbage was being eaten by others. Yan got off Gu awkwardly after hearing Jukan's cough. Senior, Gu, will never let Yan down in this life, Gu said to Jukan very seriously. Still call me Senior? Jukan said a little displeased. Father-in-law. Gu smiled and changed his words. Haha, I can see my daughter again in my lifetime and see my daughter find a good husband. Even if I die in this ghost place, I will have no regrets. Jukan sighed. Yan felt very uncomfortable when she heard this, but at present, she couldn't solve it. Yan, father-in-law, don't worry. This ancient emperor cave will be opened soon. Gu stroked Yan's cheek. He said this not just to comfort the father and daughter, but out of confidence. With his current strength, it would not be difficult to collect all the ancient jades or directly break through to the Daodi realm. Gu, your talent is very good, even the top among the geniuses I have known for so many years. However, now that the emperor's road is cut off, no matter how powerful you are, you can only break through to the 9-star Daosheng, and in this world, there are not a few 9-star Daoshengs. You want to fight two people of the same level alone. There is no chance of winning. In the past, the ancient Zhao clan leader, the Burning Flame Valley, and even the Yellow Spring Demon Saint, these are all the top powerhouses on the continent. Jukan said this to persuade the two young people not to be too obsessed with this matter. Father-in-law, the 3 people you just mentioned have now returned to the ruins. There are only 2 people in the Qi continent who are at the peak of the 9-starred Sheng, namely Gu Yuan, the patriarch of my ancient clan, and Hun Tandi, the patriarch of the Soul clan. Gu explained. As for the other clans, 8-starred Sheng are now rare. The blood power of many ancient races is constantly fading, and the strongest in the clan is even only 7-starred Sheng. Are some ancient races so weak now? Hearing what Gu said, Jukan was a little surprised and said with emotion, the Soul clan and the ancient clan where your kid is from were not the top ones in the past. I didn't expect that they have changed so much now. Generally speaking, the Soul clan is stronger, because there is a void-devouring flame in the Soul clan whose cultivation is comparable to that of a 9-starred Sheng. Gu shook his head. 2 9-starred Shengs. It seems that the Soul clan is the strongest in the world today. However, I am sure that I can reach that level within 10 years. Gu's voice was full of confidence, and even Jukan was a little shocked. Within 10 years, from 3-starred Sheng to 9-starred Sheng, this speed has never been achieved by anyone. Since you have such confidence, then do it boldly. Perhaps, you can break the deadlock of the Qi continent that has not had an emperor for 10,000 years. Jukan nodded approvingly. In the following time, Jukan learned more about what happened on the continent from Gu and Yan, and Yan also got some royal blood inheritance from her father. Brother Gu, I want to retreat for a while, or you can go back to the ancient world first. Yan looked at Gu reluctantly. Although she wanted Gu to stay here, she knew that she couldn't be so selfish. Gu also had other relatives who also needed company, and couldn't just take care of himself. Retreat? Well, this retreat may help me improve my cultivation. Later, I will go to the ancient world to find you. Yan said with a smile. Okay, take this space jade slip. Gu nodded silently, then took out a space jade slip he had refined and handed it to Yan. Moreover, before leaving, Gu also refined more than 100 bottles of sugar pills at one time. So many, Brother Gu, you are so kind. Seeing so many sugar pills, Yan was very happy and couldn't help but leave her red lip marks on Gu's face. This kid, could it be that he just relied on these few sugar pills to coax Yan into his hands? Seeing the harmonious relationship between Gu and Yan, Jukan had a smile in his eyes. I'm leaving, father-in-law. I will personally take care of the wedding of Xiao Yan after you come out. Gu Fei said goodbye to Xiao Yan and Zhukan and left the silent ancient emperor space alone. In the East region, all the sects and forces here regard the ancient clan as the emperor. However, in recent times, the East region has been a little uneasy. Many sects have been slaughtered for no reason, and none of them are left. Even some of the strong men of the ancient clan who came to check disappeared quietly. This matter has attracted the attention of some elders of the ancient clan. Not long after Gu Fei returned to the ancient realm, he also heard about this. Gu Fei, you mean, these things were done by the Soul Clan? On the mountain where Gu Fei was, Yuan, Gu Nanhai and other old generation masters drank tea with Gu Fei in the pavilion on the top of the mountain, and discussed the situation together. It should be that the Soul Clan lost face in our ancient realm last time, and this should be their revenge. Gu Fei nodded. One of the sects that had an incident this time has a sect master with the peak strength of Xun sitting in charge, and there is no sign of resistance. The person who took action must have reached the level of Sheng. With this kind of hand, the Soul Clan is very suspected. How dare they come to the East region to cause trouble? I will make sure they never return. Gulong spoke angrily. He wished he could pull out those Soul Clan members and tear them into pieces right now. Chapter 218. This time the beating didn't hurt enough. Grandpa Gulong, since the people of the Soul Clan dared to come to the East region, they must have made some preparations. Gu Fei calmly analyzed. It is estimated that among the people who came, there are 4 starred Shengs, and according to the clan agreement, our Gu clan cannot directly dispatch strong people above the 4-starred Sheng to suppress them, otherwise it will be criticized. Gu Fei, do you have a good idea? Gulong looked at Gu Fei and asked. With Gu Fei's current cultivation, he can already participate in the decision-making of the Gu clan's major events. If the clan leader takes action to find it, this matter can be easily settled. However, if a few jumping clowns of the Soul Clan cause our clan leader to take action, I am afraid that the world will laugh at it. Gu Nanhai spoke on the side. It gave Gu Fei a headache. He was not targeting this matter, because, for so many years, the people of the Gu clan have always been very arrogant, which is a disadvantage. If it is not corrected, the Gu clan will suffer a great loss because of its arrogance sooner or later. Such a small matter really shouldn't disturb the clan leader. Elder Nanhai, we can solve it ourselves. Gulong also quite agreed. Gu Fei knew that such a thing would not change their minds with just 1 or 2 words. The reason why the Soul Clan acted this time was because they knew too well the temperament of the people of the ancient clan. Since the 2 seniors think that the clan leader and grandfather should not be bothered to take action, then let the 3 of us settle this matter. Gu Fei said seriously, the sooner the better, the sooner the better. Let's set off now. Gu Fei believed that with his heavenly realm soul, as long as those people of the Soul Clan showed some clues, he could quickly catch them. Husband, you must be careful. Knowing that Gu Fei was going to fight outside the ancient realm, Dao Yixian and Care were very concerned. After all, the Soul Clan was not weaker than the ancient clan. Well, don't worry, in this eastern region, it's not the turn of the Soul Clan to act recklessly. Gu Fei explained a few words, and then left the ancient realm with Gulong and Gu Nanhai. Eastern region, southern region. There is a mountain range that stretches for thousands of miles, and there is an ancient sect in it. Recently, news of this sect being destroyed has spread. It caused panic in the surrounding area. Haha, it's really fun to come out this time. During this period, at least 10 sects have been destroyed by us. This is far from enough. Not many people from the ancient clan have died. Our goal is not these insignificant sects. In a valley on the edge of the mountain range, several black-robed people gathered here and laughed loudly. They destroyed that big sect, but did not leave. They were really brave. How dare you come to the East region to cause trouble? You guys, stay. At this time, an old voice sounded above the valley. Gu Nanhai, Gulong, how did the 2 of them find us so quickly? Looking at the 2 old men who appeared in the sky, several black-robed people in the valley looked solemn. They came here this time to ambush those people from the ancient clan who came to investigate. But unexpectedly, just at the beginning, the ancient clan sent out 2 4-star Daishin. Haha, I thought that you ancient clan would send some young people to train. I didn't expect you to be so cowardly. After a brief panic, One of the black-robed men returned to normal and said provocatively, "Stop talking nonsense. Since you guys are here, stay forever." Gu Nanhai and Gu didn't waste any words and directly launched a thunderous attack. "Hun Kan, Hun Ke, you two go first. I'll be there soon." "Elder Hundu, don't hold on for too long. This is the territory of the ancient clan after all." The strongest Soul Clan member directly met Gu and Gu Nanhai, intending to hold them back. The other two Soul Clan fighting saints took this opportunity to escape from the valley. However, the two had just escaped a distance when they were hit by a soul sound wave that was so fast that it was indescribable. Their bodies instantly lost consciousness and fell from the sky. "There are others? Are you Gu clan going to violate the clan covenant made by the 8 clans 1,000 years ago?" Looking at the situation over there, Hundu couldn't help but panic. The person who attacked secretly was able to knock down a 1-starred Sheng and a 2-starred Sheng in an instant. His strength must be quite good. Unfortunately, when Gu appeared, he realized that the person who attacked was only a 3-starred Sheng, and was still a junior. "Will a 3-starred Sheng make you Hun clan feel that we have violated the clan covenant?" Gu quickly finished off the 2 people who fell and smashed their bodies. Next, 3 people surrounded one person. "HMPH, Gu, you are too arrogant. You will definitely pay the price for killing people from my Hun clan in this way in the future." Hundu finished speaking, and then tore a crack, intending to escape into the void space. "Eastern region is not a place where you can come and go as you please." Gu Nanhai and Gu both hit a fierce paw print. Gu also used the same trick, using the heavenly rank high-level soul sound wave, coupled with his heavenly realm great perfection soul, which instantly caused Hundu's soul to vibrate. Just when Hundu's soul was injured, Gu Nanhai and the other 2 attacked. Puff. Hundu, who was also a 4-starred Sheng, was hit by the 2 and was immediately severely injured. Coupled with the pain in his soul, his combat power was greatly reduced at this moment. "Gu, I didn't expect your soul attack to be so superb." Gu Nanhai and Gu were both surprised, and then they continued to attack Hundu fiercely. Bang, bang. After more than 10 rounds, Hundu's entire body was about to be broken apart. "If you want me to die, you will have to pay a price. Retreat quickly. This guy is going to self-destruct." Gu's soul was sharp and he noticed the abnormality of the chi in Hundu's body. Gu and Gu Nanhai retreated at the same time. The loss of a 4-starred Sheng, even the Hun clan will probably feel heartbroken. After the violent explosion, the anger on Gu's face finally dissipated. "Grandpa Gu, if you want to make the Soul Clan suffer, it's far from enough to just kill a 4-starred Sheng." Gu shook his head. "Gu, what else do you think?" Gu asked curiously. "Didn't the Soul Clan build a Soul Palace in Zhangzhou?" "Soul Palace? That kind of small force can affect the mountains? If it weren't for Hunmi Sheng, the Soul Palace would be shit." Gu and Gu Nanhai didn't care much. This is a common problem of the Gu clan. Arrogance, disdain to seize resources outside the Gu clan. They don't understand the principle of accumulating little to make a lot. And the Soul Clan, over the years, has relied on Hunmi Sheng, the strongest entrepreneurial worker, and has gained huge benefits from it. "Grandpa Gu, Elder Nanhai, do you really think that the Soul Palace is useless? If it's useless, why would Hunmi Sheng run the Soul Palace for hundreds of years?" With Hunmi Sheng's talent, it's probably very easy to break through to the 5-starred Sheng, but he is willing to sacrifice a lot of practice time and worry about these mundane things. Chapter 219, Slaughter the Soul Hall Again. The hate of soul-destroying life. Gu, I heard a few years ago that the Human Hall, one of the 3 main halls of the Soul Hall, was massacred by a mysterious force. Could it be that you did it? Hearing Gu's emphasis on the Soul Hall, Gu couldn't help but think of something and asked. Hearing this, Gu Nanhai also looked at Gu. "Grandpa Gu, nothing can be hidden from you." Gu smiled and nodded. "There is nothing to hide about this kind of thing now, and besides, these 2 are both respected elders in the clan, especially Gu. When he was a child, he liked Gu very much and watched Gu grow up." "Then I know what you mean. You want to attack the Soul Hall again," Gu said with a smile. When destroying the Human Hall of the Soul Hall, Gu was only a half-saint, but he had that kind of courage. And he was dealing with a force related to the Soul Clan. This made Gu very happy. At this time, Despite what Gu Fei said, Guang and Gu Nanhai still did not take the power of the Soul Palace seriously. They just thought that destroying the Soul Palace would make the Soul Clan suffer again. Yes, Grandpa Guang, Elder Nanhai, I plan to go to Zhongzhou and destroy the Earth Palace, one of the 3 main halls of the Soul Palace. Gu Fei said his plan. Even Gu Fei did not know the location of those main halls in the Heaven Palace of the Soul Palace, otherwise, he would rather go to the Heaven Palace. Okay, since you have this idea, then the old guy will play with you. Guang agreed to help without hesitation. Then I will go there too, Gu Nanhai also responded. Both of them are forced hardsheng, and even if they take action, they will not violate the clan covenant. The location of the Earth Palace, one of the 3 Tangang halls of the Soul Palace, is extremely hidden and unknown to ordinary people. However, as long as the people of the Soul Palace have contacts with people in Zhongzhou, it will not be absolutely secret. With the power of the Gu clan, it is not difficult to find out the location of the Earth Palace. In the southern part of the central region, there is a mountain range with dangerous terrain and few people. Deep in the mountain range, there is an extremely large black palace. Like the human palace destroyed by Gu Fei before, there are countless thick iron chains outside this palace, and dense black fog is attached to the iron chains. Bang! At a certain moment, a terrifying palm print suddenly fell from the sky, and the palm print went straight to the black palace. Who dares to come to the Soul Palace to make trouble? Above the black palace, the space twisted for a while, and a black shadow appeared immediately. The black shadow's palm flashed quickly, and the sky full of black fog overflowed from its palm and collided with the palm print that fell from the sky. However, it seemed difficult for him to deal with the palm print with his strength. After the black fog dissipated, he was repelled to the top of the black palace by the aftermath of the palm print. Seeing this scene, the Soul Palace masters in the hall were all horrified. Unexpectedly, even that person was no match for these invading enemies. Thinking of the massacre of the human palace a few years ago, everyone was worried. A member of the ancient clan, the black fog that was repelled, raised his head in surprise, revealing an extremely pale face. That face did not look very old, but rather like a teenager. But the tone of his speech was unusually gloomy, making people understand that his real age must not be as it appeared on the surface. Haha, you still have some knowledge. Guang, Gu Nanhai, and Gu Fei came here and looked at this person with a joking face. You are the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall. I heard that you have been looking for me for the past few years. Gu Fei looked at the black-robed man and said meaningfully, looking for you? You are the one who massacred the human palace a few years ago? Hearing Gu Fei's words, the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall quickly reacted. After the human palace was massacred that year, he, the deputy hall master, was severely punished by the clan. If it weren't for Hun Musheng's final plea, I'm afraid he would have lost half of his life. Therefore, after Gu Fei revealed his identity, the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall had a surge of hatred in his heart. Because of you, I was punished by the clan. Today, I will crush you to ashes. The deputy hall master's eyes suddenly turned cold, and his big hand grabbed Gu Fei fiercely. The overwhelming black fog shot out from between his 5 fingers, turning into 5 huge chains, rushing towards Gu Fei. Humphrey, do you think we 2 old guys don't exist? Guang snorted and directly destroyed the 5 chains. Gu Nanhai's figure kept flashing, and in the blink of an eye he approached the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall. With a palm strike, the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall was immediately repelled hundreds of meters, and a huge crack was blasted on the top of the giant hall. Damn it! The deputy hall master of the Soul Hall showed fierceness in his eyes, but it was just bluffing. He was a 3-starred Sheng, facing the siege of Gu Fei and the other 2. He was afraid that he would die here in a few more rounds. The next moment, the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall retreated violently. At the same time, a silver jade slip emerged from his hand and was crushed. Suddenly, a strong space fluctuation spread rapidly. However, what frightened him was that after the space scroll was crushed, no space channel appeared. The diffused space energy, after floating for a while, slowly dissipated. Do you think we didn't have any preparation before we took action? Guang looked at the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall, whose face gradually became ugly. and said with a smile. The deputy hallmaster of the Soul Hall trembled slightly, and his heart finally sank completely. The Soul Clan has killed countless innocent people in Zhongzhou over the years. Today, let you taste the taste of being slaughtered. Gu Fei looked at the deputy hallmaster of the Soul Hall and said. Next, under the siege of the three people, the deputy hallmaster of the Soul Hall met the king of hell before he could last 3 moves. As for the other small fish, they were killed by Gu Fei and the other 3 in the blink of an eye. After killing all the people in the Soul Palace, Gu Zhong and Gu Nanhai also saw the large number of souls captured by the Soul Palace. What exactly does the Soul Palace want to do? Gu Zhong and Gu Nanhai were puzzled. 2 seniors, look at what's underneath. After Gu Fei released the souls trapped by the chains, he destroyed the huge black palace. Under the ruins of the huge palace, there was a soul light ball that was twice as big as the one encountered in the human palace last time. It turns out that they want to draw soul essence. It's just a branch palace, but it has such a huge soul essence. After so many years, the accumulation of the soul palace is probably more than 10 times, or even dozens of times, of this place. Gu Nanhai and Gu Zhong finally realized the seriousness of the problem. So many soul essences are enough for a person's soul to easily reach the great perfection of the heavenly realm, even to reach the legendary Emperor Realm Soul. Chapter 220, Little Medical Fairy, my child has grown up, and now I can go out and relax. Now, the 2 seniors don't still think that the Soul Palace is just an insignificant force, right? Gu Fei said with a serious expression. No, let alone what the Soul Palace's purpose is. Just the practice of killing countless innocent lives should be completely destroyed. Such an evil force is not allowed to exist in the world. Gu Zhong shook his head. He couldn't stand this practice of killing innocent people. Then how to deal with these soul origins? Although these things are transformed by evil means, they have already been formed, so there is no reason to discard them. Gu Fei, you are an alchemist. Absorbing these soul origins will be of great benefit to the improvement of soul power. Next, Gu Zhong and Gu Nanhai decided to let Gu Fei deal with the soul light ball. Yes, Gu Fei did not refuse. He really needed to use these things to enhance his soul power. However, if he wanted to be promoted to the Emperor Realm Soul, relying on these soul origins alone was far from enough, and he could only accumulate a little to make a lot. After taking away the soul origins, Gu Fei and others did not stay, but went directly back to the ancient world. After this incident, many people in the senior ranks of the ancient clan began to really pay attention to the Soul Palace, a major force in Zhongzhou. Damn it. Not long after Gu Fei and the other 2 left the ruins of the Earth Palace, a black figure descended. This person was dressed in a black robe, and his face was not particularly outstanding. He looked ordinary, just like an ordinary person. His hands that slipped out of his sleeves were also slightly rough. However, such an ordinary figure had a great reputation in Zhongzhou. This person was the master of the Soul Palace, Hunmi. The entire Soul Palace was developed and expanded to its current level under his management. However, in the past few years, the Human Palace and the Earth Palace of the 3 Tangang Palaces were destroyed one after another. Such a loss is immeasurable for the Soul Palace, and most of the strong have been lost. Moreover, all the soul origins accumulated over the past 100 years have been robbed, which will seriously affect the development of the Soul Clan's plan. The murderer is the ancient clan. Hunmi looked down from the sky above the ruins. Suddenly, he saw a large wood composed of several gullies in the ruins, and clenched his fists. The ancient clan is going too far. Hunmi, who was always calm, could not control his anger at this moment. However, the opponent was the ancient clan, and this kind of thing was not something he could solve. Ancient realm. Since Gu Fei came back, he immediately started to digest the soul essence. He didn't need to worry about the things in the outside world. No matter how angry the Soul Clan was, they would never attack the ancient realm. The elders would deal with it. After absorbing this soul light ball, Gu Fei's soul power doubled compared to before. However, his soul realm still remained at the great perfection of the heaven realm. Calculate the time. The space trade fair in Zhongzhou should start soon. Gu Fei counted the time in his heart. Space trade fair is a rather unfamiliar term in Zhongzhou. Looking at the entire continent, Only those top forces and strong people can know some information about the space trade fair. The organizer of this so-called space trade fair is not a single strong person or sect, but 3 sects that are not very famous on weekdays work together to maintain order. These 3 sects are the Daixing sect, the Consumate sect, and the Jianbao mountain. In terms of reputation, these 3 sects are probably not as famous as the Sifang Pavilion, but in terms of their strength, even the Tanmin sect dare not underestimate them. There are many hidden dragons and crouching tigers in Zhangzhou. The so-called 1 hall, 1 tower, 2 sects, 3 valleys, and 4 square pavilions cannot be summarized at all. Many sects have never been exposed to the eyes of ordinary strong people just because of their sect style. In recent years, the space trade fair has become more and more powerful under the joint sponsorship of the 3 sects. Many hidden strong people are sometimes attracted to come, because even the heaven-level fighting skills are not extremely rare here. Of course, under normal circumstances, there are still very few people from ancient races who participate, especially the proud ancient race. They look down on the space trade fair, but this time, Gu Fei has to go there in person, because the auction is likely to show the remaining map of the pure lotus demon fire and the 9-color raw stone that Xun'er needs. The reason why it is possible is that Gu Fei himself does not know whether his wandering outside these years will produce a butterfly effect. Will it change some things that happened in the original book? Xun'er, are you interested in accompanying me to an auction? Gu found Xiao and the others. Xun'er and Xiao have not answered yet, but the 2 little guys Xian and Wang are very excited and want to go out and see the world. Don't even think about it, you 2 little guys. Gu refused without hesitation. He should be under special attention from the Soul Clan now, and it is very risky to go out. It is not safe to take the children with him. Go out and take a look. I have indeed been out less in the past few years. Xiao nodded with a smile, since she went back to the small valley in the northwest continent for a while last time. She has not left the ancient world and has been taking care of the children. Now that the children are older and have playmates, she can finally go out with Gu to relax. Soon, Gu left the ancient world with Xiao and Xun'er, and the 2 children were taken care of by King Lin and Lingxi. The venue of the space trade fair is located in a barren desert in the north and south of Zhangzhou. On ordinary days, the wind and sand are raging here, making it completely uninhabited. Ordinary people would never have thought that this place where even wild animals don't want to step into is actually the place where the highest level trade fair in Zhangzhou is held. Swish! Outside the desert, there was a sudden sound of breaking wind in the clear sky. Is it here? Xiao looked up at the desert in front of him, which was raging with yellow sand, and said in surprise, "It should be." Gu smiled and nodded. He could sense that many strong people were coming around. Next, Gu stepped on the void and flashed towards the depths of the desert. The whistling yellow sandstorm along the way would automatically disappear when it approached its body within 100 meters, and behind it, Xun'er and Xiao followed closely. The sandstorm that was extremely terrifying in the eyes of ordinary people did not have the slightest resistance for them. After a while, the 3 of them came to the depths of the desert and climbed a very steep sand hill. In front of the site, in the depression of the towering sand mountain, a huge black hole with a size of 100 feet was slowly rotating, and waves of suction were slowly spreading from it. "Let's go in." Gu held Xun'er's hands and rushed into the black hole without any hesitation. Chapter 221 Picking up a bargain. Xun'er is delighted. After entering the space black hole, Gu could clearly feel that someone was investigating him. But he didn't care. This power had no malice. It was just a simple investigation. After all, when holding an auction, the staff also had to pay attention to the safety and order of the venue. After a while, the world in front of the 3 people had changed into a small town. This is the Space Town, the venue for the Space Trade Fair. Although this place is not as vast as our ancient world, it is quite sufficient to be used as a trading place. Gu held the hands of the 2 women, looked at the busy streets, and said with a smile, "Yeah." Xun'er and Xiao nodded. Being able to open up a space as a trading place is already quite a big deal. Although this space is not big, it is not something that can be opened up by ordinary people. Just take a look. The things here should be pretty good. Gu led the 2 women to stroll around. On both sides of these streets, there were some blue stone platforms. On the stone platforms, some scrolls, jade bottles, weapon magic cores and other things were floating. Devil's Leg, a high-level earth-level fighting skill. Ju, a high-level earth-level technique. Transformation Pill, a high-level 7th grade elixir. 10,000-year-old blood spirit ginseng. Along the way, Kair and Zhao Yixian's pretty faces were full of smiles. They were happy, not because the items here were extremely precious, but simply relaxed. The kind of life of fighting and killing was not what they wanted. This kind of shopping was what women wanted to live. The street was not long, only a few hundred meters. When they found that they had reached the end, they withdrew their gazes with some reluctance. Suddenly, Kair's footsteps paused, and Gu's footsteps also stopped. Looking in the direction where Kair was looking, it turned out to be a colorful stone. This stone was about half the size of a fist, with 7 very clear lines on its surface. Faintly, there was a special energy spreading out from it. 9-color raw stone? It seems that the old guy selling things at this stall has not been influenced by me. I hope that the remaining picture of the demon fire will still appear in the space auction next time. Gu's face lit up. Great. This is a 7-color raw stone. Sister Kair just needs it. The little fairy doctor reached out and poked Gu's waist, signaling Gu to buy it quickly. The so-called 7-color raw stone she was talking about is a special mutated spiritual stone, which has a lot to do with the 7-color swallowing sky python. It is said that only in the place where the 7-color swallowing sky python fell, there is a chance that this kind of 7-color raw stone will appear. The 7-color raw stone that absorbs the blood of the swallowing sky python will produce a very unique energy, and this energy is a real tonic for the 7-color swallowing sky python. Behind the stone platform, an old man with a thin face was sitting cross-legged weakly. Old sir, how do I exchange the 7-color raw stone? Gu walked up and asked with a faint smile. 2 8-grade pills with 3-color pill thunder or above. After hearing what Gu said, the skinny old man raised his eyes slightly and said slowly, deal. Although the 7-color raw stone cannot be sold at such a high price, Gu will not bargain for 2 8-grade pills. Moreover, this is something Kair likes very much. I believe Kair has also seen the clues. As soon as the voice fell, Gu directly threw a jade bottle over, grabbed the 7-color raw stone, turned around and walked away from the stall. The skinny old man was stunned, grabbed the jade bottle in front of him and examined the pills inside. Damn it, did I recognize the wrong goods this time? But that is obviously a 7-color raw stone. What about that kid? The skinny old man murmured in confusion, but his doubts were obviously not answered by anyone. Here, after walking a few steps, Gu handed the 7-color raw stone in his hand to Kair. Sister Kair, your husband is so good to you. This piece of 7-color raw stone is obviously not worth 2 8th-grade pills, but your husband bought it for you without blinking an eye. The little fairy doctor said with a smile. She did not show any jealousy, but was simply happy. Well, Kair took the 7-color raw stone, and a happy smile appeared on her cold and beautiful face. However, my husband did not make a loss. Ordinary people only know that there is a chance of giving birth to 7-colored or at the place where the 7-colored sky-swallowing python's body falls, but they don't know that if the bodies of more than 100 7-colored sky-swallowing pythons fall in one place at the same time, then there is a chance of giving birth to 8-colored or even 9-colored or. However, it is almost impossible for hundreds of 7-colored sky-swallowing pythons' bodies to fall in the same place. Therefore, ordinary people almost only know about 7-colored or, but don't know that above the 7 colors, there are 8-colored and 9-colored. And the 7-colored sky-swallowing python, the real peak, is not called this name, but is called the 9-colored sky-swallowing python. However, in the sky-swallowing python clan, it seems that only the sky-swallowing python ancestor with the strongest bloodline has reached this realm. This is a memory flowing in the sky-swallowing python bloodline inheritance. Ordinary people, even you, don't know anything about it. Gu was not surprised at all after hearing Kair's words. Instead, the little medical fairy seemed a little stunned. Obviously she had never heard of it. No wonder. Only Sister Care can recognize this kind of thing. Little medical fairy asked curiously, then is this rough stone we bought 8 color or the highest level 9 color? Hearing this, Care scratched her finger with her nails, and a drop of blood fell on the rough stone. I saw that after the 7th color pattern on the smooth surface of the stone, another color pattern slowly wriggled out. It's just an 8 color rough stone. What a pity. Seeing this, little medical fairy felt a little regretful. If this was a 9 color rough stone, this time, Care would really make a lot of money. Don't worry. Wait a little longer. Maybe it will change. Goof smiled and shook his head. Hearing this, Care and little medical fairy looked at each other with a little more expectation, staring at the rough stone closely, and Care even rubbed the surface of the rough stone gently with her fingers. The next moment, after the 8th color pattern, another extremely faint and fine pattern appeared silently. 9 colors ... 9 colors raw stone. Seeing the tiny lines that just appeared, Care couldn't stop her excitement. Husband, it's a good thing you didn't think it was too expensive and didn't buy it. Care excitedly left a red lip print on Goof's face. Little fairy, Goof felt the remaining softness and comfort on his cheek and put his hand on Care's slender waist. Okay, there's nothing to see in this space town anymore. Next, let's go to a higher level trade fair. Chapter 222. Treasures appear frequently. The little medical fairy is lucky. Soon, Goof, Xun'er, and Xiao Yan stopped at the end of a street. This should obviously be the end of the space town, and the surroundings seemed empty, no longer as noisy as before. Here, an old attic stood, and vicissitudes of life and ancient flavor spread from the attic. Outside this old attic, there were 2 old men standing here. Both of them were like statues, their bodies motionless. The cultivation of these 2 people has reached the level of 6-star Xun, and this level of strong people is only used to watch the gate. It can be seen that the specifications of the space trade fair here are very high. Let's go in. Goof took Xun'er and Xiao Yan and walked directly to the gate, flicking his fingers. A red light flashed from his sleeves and shot towards the 2 old men, and then was steadily caught by the latter and turned into a red jade note. Please. After receiving the red light, the faces of the 2 expressionless old men also fluctuated slightly, and their turbid eyes looked at Goof and his group. Then, one of them bent slightly, waved his sleeves, and 3 black rays of light swept towards Goof and the other 2, and then floated in front of them. It was a pitch-black cloak. Most of the people who entered here concealed their identities. After all, wealth should not be exposed. This thing can prevent others from detecting, Goof explained with a smile, and then put on the cloak. Seeing this, Xun'er and Xiao Yan also put it on. Then, the 3 of them stepped into the ancient pavilion together. 3 of you, please follow me. An old man in gray clothes walked quickly from one side and whispered to the 3 of them. Goof didn't say anything and followed calmly. After a few minutes, they stopped in front of a bronze door. The old man also stopped here, bowed to Goof, and without saying any nonsense, he quietly retreated. Let's go in, Goof said, and stretched out his hand to slowly push open the ancient bronze door. Inside, there was an ancient temple about half the size of a square. There were many stone chairs in the temple, and many people were sitting on these chairs. The entrance of Goof and the other 2 also attracted some glances, but they were immediately turned away. Goof did not respond to these glances, and directly took the 2 women to a more secluded position and sat down. There are many people here, so we should take precautions, otherwise it will be inconvenient to talk. The 3 of them sat down, and Goof used the power of space to surround the 3 of them. Dong. After waiting for a while, a melodious and crisp bell sounded in this quiet ancient temple. In the center of the hall, an old man with white hair and beard slowly appeared in everyone's sight in the twisted space. The old man was the owner of Beijian Mountain, the old man of Baoshan, who had seen countless treasures in his life. He was also the host of this auction. Haha, it's another space trade fair. How are you all? The old man Baoshan swept his eyes around the hall. However, no one responded to his greeting, which seemed a bit awkward. Ahem. Since most people have arrived, there's no need to say any more nonsense. This space trade fair will start now. The old man Baoshan coughed dryly. Almost everyone was serious at this time, Looking forward to the auction items. Now we will start the auction of the first item of this space trade fair. The old man Baoshan wiped his palm in the void in front of him, and a pair of dark white bone wings appeared. There was a faint sound of wind and thunder coming from the ancient wings. The demon phoenix wing has appeared, and I hope the incomplete map will also appear. Gu Fei was looking forward to it. The demon phoenix wing, the wings of the sky demon phoenix clan, if it is refined into a flying fighting skill, it will undoubtedly make it so that no one of the same level can surpass you in speed. It is really a must-have item for killing and escaping, the old man Baoshan said with a smile, and he was not afraid of offending the Sky Demon Phoenix clan. The owner of this Demon Phoenix wing wants to exchange it for an 8th grade elixir that has experienced 4-color pill thunder, so if you are interested, please make an offer. After the voice of the old man Baoshan fell, the hall fell into silence again. Gu Fei and the little medical fairy were communicating, and they had no interest in this at all. I want it. There was silence in the field for a few minutes, and a figure wrapped in a cloak spoke, and casually threw out a jade bottle. Is there anyone who bids higher than this one? There was silence all around, and no one spoke, and the old man Baoshan was not surprised. The original owner of this demon phoenix wing was only about 6 stars on. It was good to be able to exchange it for an 8th grade elixir that experienced 4-color pill thunder. If there were more, no one would come to compete. After all, it was not worth it. Seeing that no one spoke, the old man Baoshan smiled, flicked his fingers, and the demon phoenix wing in front of him flew directly to the person who made the first bid. This transaction was very simple. Both parties delivered goods at the same time, but the things they took out were all very valuable. Haha, this is our second item for auction today. After completing the first transaction, the old man Baoshan smiled, and another object flashed in front of him. It was a light golden scroll. Vajra glass body, a low-level fighting skill of the heavenly rank. This fighting skill was created by the glass saint 1,000 years ago. If you practice it to the peak, your body will be like a diamond. It is a powerful fighting skill that combines attack and defense. When this fighting skill appeared, Gu Fei also became a little interested. Although he has no shortage of heavenly rank, this kind of physical fighting skill is still worth learning. In the future, if Gu Fei wants to create his own physical fighting skill, he can also learn from it. It seems that my husband wants to buy this fighting skill. Xun'er noticed Gu Fei's size and smiled. Well, with my physical strength, there is no problem practicing this fighting skill. Gu Fei smiled and nodded. The owner of this fighting skill wants to exchange for a low-level water-based skill of the heavenly rank. In the center of the hall, the old man Baoshan introduced the price with a smile. In the hall, many people were quite interested in this volume of fighting skills. So soon someone made a bid. In less than 2 minutes, 4 scrolls were thrown into the hands of the old man Baoshan. It was obvious that 4 people were interested in this diamond glass body at the same time. Gu Fei thought of something, so he did not participate in the auction. Doesn't my husband have a water-based technique? Xun'er said with some regret. It doesn't matter. Gu Fei waved his hand, without regret. Soon, the transaction of the diamond glass body was completed. The other 3 people snorted unhappily. Obviously a little unhappy. In the following auctions, the items that appeared were more and more dazzling, from fighting skills to techniques, from elixirs to natural treasures, from weapons to medicine cauldrons, etc. However, although these auction items are quite rare for ordinary people, Gu Fei did not buy them. Until a volume of poison scripture called Tenyu Poison Classic appeared, Gu Fei did not hesitate to use 2 8-grade elixirs with 5-color elixir to help Yixian buy it. The so-called Heavenly Poison Code was created by a Cheng master named Tenyu Poison Saint thousands of years ago. This Cheng master loved to use poisons, so he also left behind a volume of methods for refining many kinds of strange poisons. Some of the poisons are so strong that even Zun masters would be miserable if they were touched. For Yixian, this poison code is very useful. It not only allows her to prepare poisons for her own practice, but also for fighting against enemies. Chapter 223 The last remaining picture of the demon fire. The ancient body tree is about to appear. With the successful completion of transactions of extremely rare items in the outside world, The atmosphere in the hall was also heated up by these items. Next, we will start the auction of the last item of this trade fair. The old man Baoshan smiled, and gently clenched his palm in front of him, and a yellowed ancient parchment appeared in his hand. Very good, very good. This thing appeared here without any accident, and the 4 pieces of the demon fire remaining map can finally be gathered together. The moment this piece of ancient parchment appeared, Gu Fei nodded secretly in his heart. Gu Fei was very familiar with this remaining map, and had been waiting for many years. Before, Gu Fei was still worried because his activities in Zhongzhou over the years would bring some butterfly effects, but now it seems that he was obviously overthinking. The continent is so huge, and the place he has been to is only a small part. Haha, after our research, we came to the final conclusion that this remaining map is related to the legendary Pure Lotus Demon Fire. The old man Baoshan introduced the remaining map. It attracted the attention of everyone present. Pure Lotus Demon Fire. This is the 3rd ranked strange fire on the strange fire list. This kind of strange fire that only exists in legends. Its power, most of the people present are very clear how terrifying it is. It is a kind of power that can destroy the world. In the hall, a series of fiery eyes stared at the incomplete picture. Although this incomplete picture is not the real Pure Lotus Demon Fire. But if you get it, you will have the opportunity to know some information related to the Pure Lotus Demon Fire. And if you can follow the clues and get the Pure Lotus Demon Fire by chance, the benefits are simply endless. Hehe. The owner of this incomplete picture wants to use it to exchange for some elixirs. The old man Baoshan smiled slightly, and then his eyes swept across the audience, saying, "Now, I declare that the bidding will begin. Please go." In the hall, there are obviously many people who are interested in this incomplete picture. At that moment, an old and hoarse voice sounded. 3 6-colored Donalai 8th grade pills. 4 6-colored Donalai 8th grade pills. 5. In the hall, within less than 2 minutes, the sound of bidding suddenly made the atmosphere hot. Gu Fei did not bid for the time being. The price of the auction rose rapidly under the shouts of no compromise. 5 7-colored Donalai 8th grade pills. A moment later, a slightly hot-tempered cold shout suddenly sounded. This price has made many people start to retreat, and they are no longer qualified to continue. 1 8-colored Donalai 8th grade pill. Gu Fei made a tentative bid at this time. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a low uproar in the hall. 3. However, the other party's bid was even more fierce. It tripled in an instant. The person who bid was a skinny figure wearing a cloak. Under the cloak, the sinister eyes shot towards Gu Fei like a sharp arrow. It seemed that he wanted to rely on his strong strength to force Gu Fei to stop praising the price. Gu Fei waved his sleeves casually, and the pressure was easily resolved. 8. Gu Fei bid again. Haha, this friend bids 8 pills of 8-color pills. Is there anyone else who wants to bid? Said the old man Baoshan with a smile. Obviously, this bid has reached a level that many people in the hall look up to, and everyone thinks it will not be higher. 1 8-grade pill of 9-color pills. If you can offer a higher price than this, then this incomplete map will belong to you. The skinny black-robed man said coldly. This guy is really crazy. Seeing that the black-robed man actually took out pills of the 9-color pill level, everyone present took a breath of cold air and shook their heads and their hearts. That guy is going to fight to the death with my husband, and he actually bid so high. Kair's face was a little cold. At this time, she wanted to snatch the incomplete map directly. Haha, if you want it, take it. Gu Fei smiled and did not continue to bid. He had already made a plan in his mind. It would be better to leave the 8th-grade pill of 9-colored pill thunder for the people around him to eat. Why waste it at this kind of auction? Anyway, the black-robed man was already dead in Gu Fei's heart. Hehe. The skinny black-robed man laughed strangely when he saw Gu Fei stopped bidding. Then, he turned his eyes to the old man Baoshan in the center of the hall. With a wave of his hand, a snow-white little rabbit appeared in his hand. As soon as the rabbit appeared, a strong pill fragrance spread here. The skinny black-robed man was a little painful when he stroked the little rabbit with his palm, but in the end, he still chose to exchange. My friend, the transaction is completed. This picture of the remaining map of the Pure Lotus Demon Fire belongs to you. The old man Baoshan quickly completed the transaction. Haha, The last item of our space trade fair is not an item, but a piece of information. Although this information may soon spread across Zhangzhou, we should still have the first-hand information here. When Elder Baoshan said this, Gu Fei had lost interest in this auction, because what Elder Baoshan was going to say next was no secret to Gu Fei. The ancient body tree that is said to be able to make people become saints instantly has appeared again after 10,000 years. Ancient body tree? Elder Baoshan's words were undoubtedly like a bomb, and instantly caused the entire hall to suddenly burst into an uproar. The ancient body tree, if you want to rank the natural treasures on the Dqi continent, it must be among the top 3. The ancient body tree, in some ancient books, is also known as the wisdom reincarnation tree. This tree grows once every 1,000 years, and it matures when it has 100 rounds. Such a long time is enough for time to corrode anything, but the ancient body tree is outside of time. It can almost be regarded as one of the most ancient species on the continent. According to some ancient books, there seems to be only one ancient body tree growing in this world. It has wisdom. Every time it appears, it will hide deep in the earth's heart, and no one can find it. However, when the next time comes, it will appear again in the world. The ancient body tree, become a saint on the spot. This is not a lie. The ancient body tree contains the body mind. Those who get it can turn their hearts into body and become saints. It's just a matter of raising their hands. This almost godlike effect is enough to make everyone crazy. If anyone can get this body mind, it means that he has a path to advance to Sheng and enter the peak level of this world. Moreover, even if the body mind is excluded, even a slightly inferior body seed can greatly increase the chance of success in advancing to Sheng. Although it is not as terrifying as body heart, it is still an irresistible temptation for some people at the peak of Zun. Taking all these factors into consideration, the attraction of the ancient body tree to those top masters has almost reached a crazy level. It is conceivable that if this news spreads, it will cause a great commotion in Zhangzhou. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 224, Killing and Robbing? No, this is to eliminate the 3 evils. Old Man Baoshan, where is the place where the ancient body tree was born? The shock in the hall lasted for a while, and finally someone asked first. As soon as the voice fell, all the eyes in the audience gathered on Old Man Baoshan. Haha, don't worry, since I have said it, I will not hide my shortcomings. Old Man Baoshan smiled and said, everyone is familiar with the place where the ancient body tree was born, that is, the ancient domain of Mangwang located in the northeastern border of Zhangzhou. Ancient domain of Mangwang? Hearing this, exclamations immediately rang out in the hall. The ancient domain of Mangwang is almost the oldest place in the Dqi continent today. At the same time, it is also a forbidden place for all humans. There, the weather is bad, poisonous miasma is everywhere, and there are many ferocious beasts. The ferocious beasts there are bloodthirsty and violent. Although they are not very smart, their strength is extremely terrifying. Even if a strong man at the peak of Zun goes in, he may not dare to say that he can come out alive smoothly. However, no one expected that the place where the ancient body tree was born would be in this wild ancient domain. My husband, no wonder the host of the auction released this information. With their strength, entering the wild ancient domain alone would be a death sentence. They want to attract more people to enter so that they can fish in troubled waters. Kair understood this very clearly. Yes, it's very close to the east domain. If you want to go there, it's not a big deal. Gu Fei nodded in agreement. Gu Fei was determined to get the ancient body tree this time. Although the ancient body tree is not particularly helpful to a strong man like him, however, Gu Fei can take the treasures from it to make his relatives grow quickly. According to the arrogance of the ancient races, most of them would only send the younger generation to experience. Gu Fei would not be so arrogant. Getting the things in hand is the most practical. In the hall, the atmosphere was quiet for a while, and people stood up one after another and then left the hall. Let's go to. Gu Fei led Yixian and Kair away. Husband, are you going to get the remaining map of the demon fire later? Xun'er said softly with a smile on her face after leaving Space Town. She had already figured out Gu's thoughts. The reason why she didn't raise the price before was probably because she wanted to snatch it after the auction. And the Vajra glass body. I've observed that the people who bought those two things are the same group. Now Yixian also smiled. Haha, you two have already guessed me, and you can't hide anything. Gu smiled bitterly and nodded. If I were an ordinary person, I wouldn't do such a thing of killing and robbing, but those guys just now can no longer be considered human. What do you mean by this, husband? Xun'er and Yixian were a little confused. Those people are from a lewd sect called the Unrequited sect. This sect cultivates meat tripods to improve its strength, and this so-called meat tripod is to select talented girls, give them the practice method, and practice hard for more than 10 years, and then use the unique intercourse method of the Unrequited sect to absorb the fighting spirit in their bodies. The women whose fighting spirit is absorbed will die of old age within 10 days. Gu explained, it is really a shameless sect. Hearing what Gu said, Xun'er and Yixian's cheeks were also slightly cold. For such people, we kill and rob, which can be regarded as eliminating harm for the world. At this moment, Xun'er and Yixian were both filled with murderous intent. Here it comes. His eyes followed Gu's sight. There, faintly, there was a sound of wind and thunder, and then 3 black rays suddenly swept from the sky. When the 3 were about to enter the mountain where Gu and the other 2 were, they suddenly felt something and stopped instantly. It's you? Why? You wanted to kill people and rob them after you failed to win the bid. You dared to rob our 3 scorpion demons. I have to say that you are very brave. The 3 people felt Gu's breath, and were stunned at first, and then said in a yin and yang tone, obviously, they didn't realize the danger. You are wrong. This time, I am not killing people and robbing, but eliminating the 3 evils for the world. As Gu finished speaking, a huge pressure erupted invisibly, and in the sky, the 3 scorpion demons were squeezed into meat paste by a huge pressure. They didn't see how Gu made a move until they died. After they died, Gu naturally took away the 3 of them. In it, in addition to the demon fire remnant map, there was also the previous volume of the Vajra glass body fighting skill. Let's go. Gu didn't care about killing a few Xun peaks at all, and quickly left with the 2 women. Soon, Gu and the other 2 appeared in a secluded mountain somewhere in Zhangzhou. Because he was worried that the strange phenomenon brought by piecing together the demon fire remnant map would be known to the tribe, Gu chose to do it before going back. This is not because he is worried about his own people, but because he is guarding against the spies planted by the Soul Clan. If the Soul Clan knows that he has obtained all the remaining pictures of the demon fire, then it will be much more difficult to obtain the pure lotus demon fire. In the cave, Gu took out all the remaining pictures and slowly pieced them together according to the traces of the lines. When the last ancient picture was in place, a landscape pattern did appear on the complete ancient picture, but this so-called pattern was also quite ordinary, without any specific goal or route. It looked like a landscape painting drawn casually. The remaining pictures of the demon fire are not that simple. There must be other mysteries. Xun'er and Yixian looked at the landscape painting, but they were not discouraged. Well, the secret in it needs to be calcined with strange fire to reveal it. As soon as the voice fell, a ball of strange fire suddenly rose in Gu's palm, and directly swept the ancient picture in. This ancient map can't be burned? Xun'er was very surprised. She knew the power of Gu's strange fire, but she didn't expect that the ancient map that seemed to be broken by a tear was actually motionless and showed no signs of turning into ashes. What on earth is this broken map made of? Now Yixian was also very curious. You know, Gu's strange fire is a fusion of 5 kinds of strange fires, and its power can burn mountains and boil seas. As the flames became more and more fierce, the lines on the ancient map slowly became brighter, as if they were about to break out of the map. At a certain moment, the ancient map trembled suddenly. Those lines flew directly from the ancient map. Finally, they turned into ancient characters, floating in the air in front of everyone. 2 moons appeared at the same time. 9 stars became 1, the tides of heaven and earth. The demon fire descended. Chapter 225 Xun'er, Brother Gu, please take me with you. Husband, What do these words mean? Looking at these lines of ancient text, Xun'er and Xiao frowned almost at the same time. 2 moons appear at the same time, 9 stars become one, which refers to a special landscape of heaven and earth. This kind of landscape can only be seen once every 1,000 years, and the tide of heaven and earth is a strange phenomenon caused by this landscape of heaven and earth. The last sentence means that on the day when the tide of heaven and earth appears, the pure lotus demon fire will also descend into this world. Gu Fei explained with a smile. It will only appear once every 1,000 years? Xiao looked disappointed. This time was a bit too long. The last time this kind of heaven and earth phenomenon appeared was 997 years ago, which means that there are still 3 years before the demon fire descends into the world. Gu Fei explained with a smile. As for why this is the case, it is because the seal set by the pure lotus demon saint will be severely weakened under the tide of heaven and earth. The pure lotus demon fire will only choose to break the seal at this time. At that time, many people in the world will be able to clearly sense the advent of the demon fire, and this complete fragment is the backup plan left by the pure lotus demon saint. So that's how it is. Xiao and Xun'er nodded. At this moment, Gu Fei touched the ancient map with his palm. At this moment, the demon lotus pattern on the ancient map suddenly squirmed, and turned into a flash of lightning like a living thing, and shot directly into Gu Fei's brow. The sudden change also made Xun'er and Xiao's faces change drastically. Husband, Xun'er and Xiao's pretty faces turned pale because of shock. This ancient map is too weird, and no one knows whether the thing in it is good or bad. Don't worry, it's okay. Gu Fei gave the 2 women a reassuring smile, and his soul power sensed the white light ball entrenched in his brow. For this white light ball, Gu Fei was not worried that it would hurt him at all. What was that just now? This is what the pure lotus demon saint left behind. The person who was closest to the emperor, Gu Fei explained. Although the pure lotus demon saint is a little evil in the records, he is also an upright person. He should not do anything too shameless. Xun'er's face showed worry again, because Gu Fei's reason was a bit far-fetched. It was the same as saying nothing, just holding a fluke mentality. However, Xun'er saw that Gu Fei was so sure that nothing would happen, so she didn't ask anymore, because Gu Fei never did things that he was not sure of. Okay, let's go back to the ancient world first. Gu Fei ignored the things in his eyebrows and returned to the ancient world with the 2 women. Half a month later, ancient world. In a hall, several elders of the ancient clan sat in high seats, and below, a group of young and powerful people of the ancient clan gathered here, most of whom were high-leveled Xun. Among them, King Hei Yan and Xun'er were both at the peak of Xun and were striving for the semi-saint level. The ancient body tree is about to appear. This time, you young people will go there. Just treat it as a kind of experience, an elder of the ancient clan said with a smile. Even if it was an opportunity like the ancient body tree, they didn't value it very much. After all, according to rumors, treasures like body heart only have the effect of making people become saints on the spot. For these ancient clan fighting saints, body heart doesn't seem to have much appeal. Of course, there is another reason. Body heart is not always available. In addition, this kind of thing has been around for a long time and is just a rumor. No one can confirm it. Don't worry, we will definitely complete the battle for the ancient body tree. King Hei Yan and others said in unison. They should stay in the ancient world this time. I will go there myself. At this time, Gu Fei appeared in the hall. His words made everyone doubtful. Master Gu Fei, what do you mean? An elder of the ancient clan asked politely. This time, I will go to get all the opportunities of the ancient body tree, and they don't have to go. Gu Fei repeated it. Nowadays, the ancient clan and the soul clan have already torn their faces apart in various confrontations. If the young generation of the ancient clan continues to let the prodigies of the ancient clan go to train, they may be ambushed by the soul clan's Zheng realm masters, because the people of the soul clan will find a way to avenge the previous grudges. Okay, since you have this idea, Master Gu Fei, then it's decided. As Gu Fei's voice fell, several elders of the ancient clan in the hall agreed. Nowadays, Gu Fei's right to speak can be ranked among the top 5 in the ancient realm. Brother Gu Fei, this is a rare opportunity to train, so let me go with you. Xun'er looked at Gu Fei closely. with a hint of hope in her eyes. Last time she went to the heavenly tomb, she felt Gu's concern for her. This time in the wild ancient domain, she also wanted to create an opportunity to be alone. Take you with you. Will you become a burden? Gu rejected Xun'er's request without hesitation. Ms. Xun'er, you are of divine blood. The Soul Clan had wanted to do something bad to you before. This time, don't go. The elder of the ancient clan also spoke at this time. Gu Yang, Gu Yao and others did not refute Gu's words, because they felt that Gu must have his own reasons for doing so. Why can't I go? Xun'er was very disappointed at this time. She found that today, she and Gu had such a huge difference in the right to speak in the ancient clan. Gu's words could make the elders decide that the rest of the young people would not go to the wild ancient territory. After Gu finished speaking, he left the ancient realm alone. This time, he did not bring anyone with him because he was worried about the ambush of the Soul Clan. In the outside world, Zhongzhou has been in a state of unrest in the past half-month. Countless forces have sent advance personnel to approach the wild ancient territory. However, the real main force has not really set off yet, because they are waiting for the moment to confirm that the information is true. When Gu left the ancient realm, a ray of morning light broke through the earth's shackles and cast the sun onto the continent. In the northeastern sky of Zhongzhou, an extremely special clear air suddenly swept from the sky like a wave. On the continent, everyone who inhaled this clear air had almost the same image in their minds. It was an ancient towering tree. A breath of wisdom emanated from the ancient tree. This was the ancient body tree. In Zhongzhou, at this moment, there was finally a thorough sensation. Brother Gu, if you don't let me go, I will go. An hour after Gu left the ancient realm, Xun'er secretly left the ancient realm and headed towards the northeast of Zhongzhou. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.